Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Proficiency Bonus. This is Storm King's Thunder, episode 75, which is pretty crazy. We were just talking about it. So I'm just going to get the camera off of me and get you guys to everybody so everybody can say hi. And there you go, everybody. You guys can wave and say hi to everybody.
Hi!
As we get ready to start episode 75 tonight, we want to throw out a couple quick shout-outs to Twitch, Streamlabs, OBS, Team MZ, and Many-Sided Dice for all their support for small streams like us. We just appreciate all the help. A couple other announcements that I want to get out of the way. We were able to write a total donation to the Zephyr Foundation for the month of April for autism awareness of $1,000, folks. $1,000 we are donating to the Zephyr Foundation. Not only because you guys were generous and gave a lot of your bits to that fundraiser, but the Proficiency Bonus family pitched in a lot. Tabletop Legends, the one who kind of initiated this whole effort, they had matched a lot of the goals from their first stream, and they actually pitched in the bulk of it, which was $700. And the Proficiency Bonus viewers and family pitched in that remaining $300. And somebody's really excited about that because I can hear the horn going off. That's awesome.
That's a Jamaican dancehall air horn.
So somebody's throwing confetti somewhere. That's great. So thank you, those of you who donated some bits during the month of April to give to this amazing charity. So thank you guys. A couple more announcements. The first announcement that I want to make is this coming summer, on July 13th, Saturday, July 13th, starting at noon, it's going to be Michael's birthday of horrors. As Dungeon Master Matthew, who plays Molfin, of course, is going to lead us into the Tomb of Horrors for a special one-shot. We are going to make this a fundraising effort. There's going to be more information on that to come. But yeah, stick around for more announcements on that. But that is set for Saturday, July 13th. Starting at noon, we delve into the tomb. And I'm super excited because I get to play. Most of the time, I'm trapped behind this book that I never get to use because my party doesn't follow the adventure, and they go and they do all this crazy side quest stuff. But that's partly my fault because I feed into it. So
you totally feed into it.
I totally do. I get so
Let's just steal the cleric's soul. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's go declare war on a Drow house.
And one more announcement that I wanted to make. We are going to have a new show on the Proficiency Bonus channel coming very soon. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know about this. I kept a pretty good secret. The show Dirty 20 is going to air Saturday, June 8th at 5 p.m. before Insight Check. And it's actually going to be DM'd by me, Michael. And I have some special guests that are going to be joining me, and we're actually going to be sitting around an actual table, rolling real dice, playing with real miniatures. Woo! Just like they do on Tabletop Legends on Tuesday nights, which you should totally tune into. So that new effort is going to start on that Saturday. It will not be a once-a-week type show. It's going to be maybe twice a month, perhaps once a month kind of deal. So I'll let you know more about that schedule in the future once we get all that panned out. But we do have a launch date. We are set to go, and we're super excited about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's my favorite term ever. I'm so pleased. Oh my god.
I have a feeling, Christy, you're really going to like the logo I'm designing for it too. I think it's...
Oh, I'm so excited.
I think it's right up your alley. I think you're going to love it.
Yes!
So with that, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of a recap. So last week the party was split. Callista was down in the lower ends, listening in on a fire giant who appears to have some type of prisoner. and she discovered that it was a Zent who's locked up in the top of his maw. There's like a little jail cell in his maw. She heard some conversation, then all of a sudden she heard some vibrations coming through the walls. And, you know, like a good mother should, she knew she knew that something was not right upstairs. Our party decided to try a little distraction. So Diana faked being pregnant and going into labor. They entered They entered Chief Karthakaya's tent, where Diana sat down and Molfin decided he was going to birth the baby. And he did so by birthing an imp, which flew around the room, causing the whole place to go in an uproar, feeling that this party was spawning demons inside their establishment, and all hell broke loose. Literally. A lot of things happened. Molfin got taken over for a short time from using the Shroud's abilities. Cone of Cold just about everything on the map. There's a lot
including me.
Including Diana,
Yeah, including
who almost died last time. Yeah. So, if you want to know everything that happened during that combat, you're gonna need to go watch the VOD because it was crazy intense.
it was a lot.
You
wild.
had Callista turning into a flying giant ape, throwing yak folk off of the cliff. It was pretty amazing. It was probably one of the funnest battles, like most entertaining battles I think we've had in this entire campaign. So that being said, you guys have cleaned house, the top of this yak folk establishment, and so the story is told. You guys are all breathing heavily, as you can see that it doesn't seem as if there is much of a threat left within this small village. What would you like to do,
Well,
adventurers?
Callisto.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Callisto.
There's always that. So I leave it in your
I just got that.
I leave it in your hands. I'm gonna stay out of this one.
As the DM backs away.
I'm just gonna.
Can I roll
I'm
stealth?
just gonna mute. Yeah, I'm gonna roll stealth and mute my mic.
I think Ashlyn mentioned last time where she's not here that she was interested in going in and looking at that flaming sword.
Okay. Yeah. Ashlyn's actually looking a bit hurt too.
Oh no!
She's definitely showing
healed-
some. You probably healed her a little bit, but she's on a scale to 1 to 80, from 1 to 86. She's kind of looking like a 48.
I will go up to her and cure wounds at second level.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so she gets a little bit better.
Okay, can you go ahead and roll that for us?
Yeah.
Roll 20, see what we got.
I did. I don't know if it's loading. Let me do it again. One more time.
All
Okay,
right.
there we go.
So 13 points of healing to Ashlyn.
Yeah. If she still needs it, then I'll do it again.
Okay.
She look okay? She look better?
Looks better. I mean, she's still got some injuries, but
do it
perhaps
one
if you
more time.
guys decide to take a short rest here or a long rest depending on what everybody's looking like, you guys can discuss that amongst yourselves. If you like.
Molfin's just going to walk back behind and just sort of sit down and lean back against the hut.
Okay.
Callista's just looking around at the complete chaos.
Yeah, the one building to the north is almost completely engulfed in flames and just burning.
That was me.
This pillar of black smoke just starts rising.
Are there any slaves still
What
around?
did you guys
Molfin just puts his hands up like this, like,
We got lost.
We found it like this.
We found it like that.
do?
Oh, there's a giant hole in the roof of the building that's on the plateau too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
you couldn't have done this civilly, stealthily, just burn it all down?
I just want to say, I feel like I shouldn't be getting yelled at here because I almost died. Like, would you want...
I saw it.
He saw it. I almost died. So I feel like I should get to relax, eat some ice cream, heal, you know.
Perhaps if you hadn't given
Emotionally.
birth, that
What?
wouldn't have been necessary.
She had more
Perhaps
ice cream.
if somebody,
Back up! What?
Yes, Diana went
Perhaps-
into labor.
perhaps if
How?
somebody hadn't, no, you see, perhaps if somebody had not made me birth a demon spawn, maybe we would have been a little bit better off. Maybe an actual baby.
I'm going to need
cute.
some context to this conversation.
So, I don't know, Molfin said create a distraction, and I went with the first thing off the top of my head.
Birthing a demon?
I did not intend to birth a demon. I just intended to birth a thing.
Is that? I'm looking around. I'm seeing how hurt everybody is, first of all.
Not a mark on me.
Lachlan seems to be fine. Diana's fine
Okay.
now.
The hair's still.
For someone, for someone who just died, I'm at full health.
Ashlin's looking a lot better with the healing. Riled and Molfin actually
Well,
have.
Molfin is actually looking pretty good because it's probably been
yeah.
15, 20 seconds.
Yep,
So
yep. Molfin's wounds, for some reason, they just slowly seem to close up.
Molfin, are you even human anymore?
I'm gonna go cure my dad seeing that.
Molfin's going to look at Diana and say, "No, definitely
Still a
not."
gnome.
I pumped 2 level 1s into dad.
Thank you, my dear. Sorry about the mess.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great shot.
Is he?
Yeah.
Hunting in the Underdark, it takes a little bit of skill.
Well, speaking of the Underdark, we still have to find your brother.
That is right.
Yes, we just have to find the entrance to the elevator up here and then ride down.
Well, there is the elevator over there, and I gestured to where it is. But it stops every few minutes at each floor, and each floor is usually occupied.
So we have to
Could
get it when
we-
it's at the bottom and jump.
Could we all be invisible on the elevator? So people can't see us going on or off?
I don't think I have enough to do that.
Molfin?
I can cover myself in terms of invisibility.
I do not have enough to that I can set up the small hut we use for rests, but at best I would be able to set the dome to appear to be the same color as the floor of the elevator.
At this moment, you guys are having your conversation. You guys start to hear something call out from the north. Is it safe to come out?
Depends if you're a yak.
And then you see
No.
behind like what looks to be like a bale of hay up there where the harvest area is at the top of the map. You see this rather raggedly clothed dwarf steps out. Looks like he's got manacles along his feet. And then you see 2 rock gnomes, male and female, step out from another one. And then you see another dwarf farther back start to slowly step out as they look tired, dirty, beaten, and their hands are covered in calluses. dirt under their fingernails. Look like they've had a pretty rough go. And they start making their way slowly towards you. You can hear the chains rattling on their feet as they slowly make their way closer and closer to each of you.
Lachlan, can you get them out of those?
Roger that.
Yeah.
And I'll try to approach one of the gnomes first.
Okay.
One of the rock gnomes.
Yeah, you can see the two rock gnomes. One's a male, one's female. Rather probably middle-aged, I would say. Just
Kind of show my thieves' tools and,
please. And he just gestures down. Yeah. Oh yeah. You like
Wow.
you're like look
Wow.
you're looking at him carrying on a small conversation, not even looking at the lock itself.
How's the weather?
And he just you click it open, no problem. Falls to the ground. Thank you. Oh my goodness, those hurt so much. Oh.
Yeah, I can imagine. Those look terrible.
Wow. You can see that these things have they were so tight, they carved into his shins a little bit.
Oh, can I heal them a little bit?
Sure, you could.
I don't have any more spells that are higher level, so I can't do mass healing word, but I'll, go around and touch.
You can make a medicine
them
check.
A cure wounds. Oh, you're right.
Just do a medicine check to kind of patch them up a little bit if you'd like.
Oh, you are just, wow, so much better at being a cleric than me. Thank you.
I mean, it's not as good as healing, but yeah, you have some gauze and some things, and you kind of wrap it around the legs. I would say with your 32, you're able to unlock every single one of these without a problem, Lachlan.
All right.
He just looks at them and they're falling
Yeah, they
off.
just fall off. These are
The last person I'll tease him am I really gonna take it off? I don't know.
the manacles actually look like they're each one of them is different. It almost looks like they were stolen from different people, and it looks like they've been used on possibly multiple people. And just
I would tell everybody that,
And just when one of the slaves passed, they just moved it to a new one.
That's messed up.
So
That's grisly.
that was the dwarf is looking at you and just kind of rubbing his legs as Diana's finishing up gauzing him up a bit. That was amazing. Thank you all so much.
How long have you guys been kept like this?
I've been here for 3 weeks. The gnomes, they were here longer. I'm not sure exactly how long.
Well,
I'm just happy we weren't one of the sacrifices.
for what?
What?
Well, I don't know. Apparently to appease their gods, they sometimes have to make sacrifices, and they use us, slaves, sometimes to appease their god. I've seen some burned alive. I've seen some thrown from the top of the tower wall. I've seen some...
Then it's karma that I threw them over the wall.
And that's just in 3 weeks.
You did? You threw some over the wall.
I did.
I saw it.
He
I saw it.
He smiles, rubs a couple hands through his beard. Oh, I wish I was able to see from my vantage. Oh, my goodness.
Do they pull slaves from the mines as well?
Well, you see, the Yak folk, there are more below in the mines, but they're the slaves of the fire giants. Sometimes the Yak folk negotiate some of their slaves to go down into the mines, but the Yak folk and the fire giants, they just have a mutual understanding. It's not so much of a partnership as if the fire giants need more, they just come up and basically strong-armed ask. And the Yak folk feel like they, need to support what's going on below.
Right.
Oh, it's so good to be free. And he's just sitting down, just rubbing his legs some more.
Yeah, what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna get back to Citadel Adbar. That's where I need to get.
Citadel Albor.
Adbar.
Adbar.
See, I was part of a caravan not too long ago. Hey, thank you so much for the follow.
Githnar.
Githnar.
Thank you, Githnar, for the follow. We appreciate you. Welcome to the Proficiency Bonus family. Yeah. I was a guard guarding the caravan. We were overtaken by these yak folk creatures. You see, the yak folk have, I don't know, some kind of a divine ability to be able to take over one's body.
What?
Some of my guard friends were overtaken. It's like the yak folk just disappear into the body of another and become them. Well, these yak folk are headed back to the Citadel as guards. I got to warn someone. I must go back.
Oh, that's heavy stuff.
Well, first things first, we gotta deal with what's happening down below.
I don't know what brought the fire giants back, but they've got something going on.
I don't suppose you know of any secret passages or entrances into the keep, do you?
No. Us dwarves have been looking for one for centuries. All there are those stupid magical doors that no one can get into. Well, there's also on the other end of those large doors you see to the northeast. There's from what I can tell, a elevator that's powered by these yak folk and their water mill. There's also an entrance to the mines up there as well. I think you can go either way. As far as I know, no other entrance exists.
He said that the yak folk can become other people or something like that. Can I inside check him to see if he is one of these yak folk? I probably can't tell.
Okay. You're not sure.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's most.
You might-
Can we find a picture of like a beautiful female yak folk to show him and see if he gets excited?
Wow.
And if that doesn't work, a handsome yak man.
Would this constitute as a short rest as with all this conversation going on?
Oh yeah, I would assume that you guys would probably want to take a short rest here. It doesn't seem like anything is... You don't feel as if anything is threatening right now or coming your way, or... What about the other slaves? Have you seen any others?
Many down below.
Well, there were others that were here. Have you seen any?
There were a few, but in the thing.
Oh yeah.
There were a few
What
elves.
thing?
Oh,
What?
Those moon elves, huh? Elves. Well,
Elves.
no matter.
Got a problem?
There was... Pardon me. They were... They were...
They were aiding the
he
yak folk.
gets red in the face a little bit.
I just told him to release you.
I could put it
tell
back
him to be
on.
up. Exactly.
It's Callista. The elves were aiding the yak folk.
Why? Where are they?
The elves were aiding the
They are
yak
they are no longer aiding them.
How are the elves? I think the elves were slain.
Make a deception check, Molfin.
Why would the elves be
I'm
aiding?
gonna burn my DM's inspiration
Shut
after
up.
just to see if...
Nice.
I don't know if it's worth it for Molson to make that deception check because I feel like Diana would just,
I believe him.
him out.
Callista believes him.
You weren't in the room.
I wasn't there, so I believe
You
him.
ran
And I
up,
rolled an
Diana.
insight with advantage, and I still
What do
believe
you
him.
mean? I had what was it? One of the Elf Moon slaves came and picked me up and carried me around when I was pregnant. So, like, I feel like I would know.
The dwarf kind of looks at you suspiciously, Milford. Seems odd. They were held against their will.
Might have been a form of Stockholm syndrome they were helping.
Well, there were others.
But they will help no
I feel
more.
like
There were other dwarves. There were other gnomes. There were some humans.
Where?
I don't know. The Yak folk had them in other buildings.
The only building I saw was the one I lean on.
You don't see these other buildings?
Well, we
They're all around.
haven't
The
investigated it
only building I
yet.
saw.
Maybe you should get that thing off of your head. And maybe it's...
that's what we've been trying to tell him.
Anyway, we do need to figure out how to get down, though.
Well,
My idea is to stick close to the furnace and wait for the Drow to bring the delivery and intercept it then. If we can't find a secret passage, the best way to do is stay close to the fire giant that's waiting for them. I don't know. I can go back in Earth Meld and just wait and see what happens, but getting you guys down there is the problem.
Just jump the elevator.
that's probably our best bet.
Well, my problem is if you go down the elevator, the guards that are keeping the miners hostage will probably notice you. Yeah.
What if
I
we
mean,
ride
Risk it,
under
but
the elevator?
how do you plan to do that?
Haven't
Like hiding in a ceiling? Like hiding in a ceiling?
Yes, so if the lift goes up and down, perhaps there is mechanisms or something underneath it that we could find a way to sort of attach a platform to.
Ooh. It's worth a lot.
I'm not one for construction. I'm not exactly sure how we would manage that.
Just hold on.
As you guys are having this serious conversation, Ashlyn walks back from the hut and she's like, "Guys, check this thing out." And she starts like... she's wielding this massive greatsword that is just very decorative. It seems to have arcane runes that run up the middle of the blade.
It's really cool. Could we pretend to be like yak people and slaves and, go down there as a shipment kind of thing?
We could. I was wondering if, but we don't know their language, we could pretend to be yak people in a different body.
Hey, Lachlan! As Ashlyn's like whipping this thing around. There's like other boxes and stuff in there.
I'll be right back, guys. I just run. I bolt.
And Lachlan heads. You see the beaded curtain that hangs down for the doorway, and you move the beads inside. They make all this sound as you walk it through, and you see a
Corpse thrown out of the way.
a bunch of
Wow.
a bunch of ice frozen statues in the room, and you get closer to the one of this massive yak folk. It looks like it used to be holding something two-handed, and there is an imp like in mid punch to its face, like just almost completely attached in ice next to it, and it's got this sick expression on the imp's face, like is it just locked in there like that?
I guess Gramps has that same art that's in my side of the family.
And you can see that there, it looks like the things in the room have been scattered all about. Like, this place looks like a hurricane hit it inside and out, because there's a giant hole in the ceiling from where Diana called fire from the heavens.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you see that there are several chests around the room, 4 to be exact.
Guys, chests! I would start investigating them for traps, of course.
Okay, make a
I'm so good at that. It's been so.
make an investigation check as you're
Okay.
checking it out. They
Totally safe.
don't appear to be trapped. They're just seems to be basic, rather large though, wooden chests that have just basic locks on them. You've seen these before. I mean, you've done this hundreds of times.
Guys, there are chests here and they're totally safe to open. As I'll just start going on one.
Okay, go ahead and make a thieves' tools check on this first one to unlock this this first one. Oh yeah, definitely. Piece of cake, Lachlan. The lock unlatches. The top of the chest starts to open slightly. You open it right up.
Oh yeah.
Nothing seems to go off. Nothing seems to happen. You kind of flinch just for a moment from past experiences.
Yeah. Are my hands stuck to the side of the chest or anything?
You're good. You're good.
Okay,
there is a ton of coinage in here. It's a chest full of coins. There are 420 Electrum coins in here.
Wow.
And there are also
cryptocurrency.
Also 270 gold pieces in here.
270?
270, that's correct, yeah.
Okay, I'm adding it to the party wealth right now in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Split it later, you know.
There are 3 other chests in the room.
And I think it's Molfin's meandering in at some point too while I'm doing this.
Yeah,
while
at this point I
recklessly
caught it.
Molfin walks in as you're jamming coins into the bag of holding, I believe.
He gets that from my side of the family.
I'd be going on to the next chest now.
Okay.
Gramps, these are totally safe. I checked them.
Okay, then well, I suppose I'll head over to this one then.
Okay, Lachlan, you're taking the second chest. Molfin taking the third.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go
Sure.
ahead and both. Oh, Lachlan! Dang. You're watching and coaching Molfin. What I'll do is I'll give Molfin advantage on his roll.
Yes.
Because you're actually not even looking. You're picking the lock without looking and just coaching him through it.
To the left.
See, yeah, you got to
keep your hands
there's
straight.
There's the tumbler. It's right over there.
Wait,
you'll
that's
be able to feel
Tinker's.
it. That's Tinker's, yeah. So you have advantage, and you both successfully unlock them simultaneously.
Oh, swish. Like a glove.
Was helpful.
Lachlan,
Thank you, Lachlan.
Hey, thank you, Amelia Keller, for hosting us. We appreciate it. Thank
Oh.
you so much.
Hello, we love you.
Yeah. This chest actually is packed with a bunch of straw, Lachlan. And as you start to move the straw out of the way, there is a rather
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
there's a rather large clay jug inside that's painted with images of flying jinn.
What? Large clay jug painted with images of flying jinn.
Genies.
Yeah.
No. Jinn are evil.
Yeah, gin. Oh, have some martinis.
Gin and juice. Laid back.
Jinn you're not supposed to teach them to say the name of.
All right, third.
Gramps, you should take a look at this sometime, but I get to keep it. It's mine. I found it.
Third chest, Molfin. When you open yours, inside here, it looks like a bunch of weapons and arrows, and they do not look like the weapons and the arrows that Yak folk normally use. These are much smaller. And your first insight tells you, well, these are probably weapons gathered up from slaves and other people and stowed away in here and locked up so they couldn't get them. But there's a lot in there. There's 3 short swords, 4 daggers, 2 battle axes, 3 short bows, and 3 quivers that are packed full of 10 arrows each.
Muffin look over at Lachlan. Perhaps we can give these to those slaves we just liberated so they can make their way.
Brilliant. Alrighty.
I suppose I should leave the 4th to your expertise.
Unless you'd like the honors.
Oh, no, I insist.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to take on this last one. Feeling very cocky about myself. Oh, I wonder what's in this one. I think this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Piece of cake. Unlocks it, no problem. The chest opens, and inside you find a pair of electrum bracers that are embossed with dwarven faces on them.
What?
They look rather nicely made.
Pair of electrum bracers embossed dwarven faces.
Mhm.
That is rad.
You also find a interesting token inside.
A token?
It looks like a couple of wooden maple leaves that are carved.
Look at Christy.
And there are a few green feathers that emerge from it. Almost, it's kind of like a keychain. It has this like little leather ring, and it has these maple leaves and these green feathers that like 3 of them emerge from it. There's also a glass potion bottle that is corked that contains a purple liquid that when you start to shake it a little bit, there's this little purple kind of liquid that seems, or little pink liquid that kind of comes through. So it's purple sparkly liquid inside.
Ooh.
And you also find a scroll case that has arcane carvings on it. Looks like it's made from some type of ivory or something.
Got you. Grams, I have a lot of stuff I need you to take a look at. And I would want to like try to, we should probably go get the others, be fair about this. That's how we're doing things these days, right, Grams?
Hey, thanks so much for the follow. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, External Break.
Ooh.
Lachlan,
External break. Cool name.
give me a hand carrying this chest out to the slaves. I think you've got the rest of it in the bag of holding, but
Alrighty.
I'll do this one with the weapons.
Alright, I crack my knuckles and I'm ready to...
Okay, what's Lachlan doing at this time?
I'm trying to help Molfin carry this chest full of weapons out for all the others.
Okay.
For the slaves.
Go ahead, each of you make a strength check for me.
Oh, this is gonna go great.
We can call this athletics if you're trained in athletics.
I am not, so that would make it a strength check.
Athletics gives me a -1.
As Lachlan's is 16, and there's a couple times where Molfin drops his end, and then has
I'm basically doing all the work. I get it. Yeah.
so Lachlan, you're able to keep it. It's pretty heavy, but you're able to keep it going, and you drag it kind of outside. And the dwarves kind of look, and they reach for the 2 battle axes that were in there. It looks like the gnomes look, and they pick out a short bow and a quiver, and get themselves some weapons, and there are also some better clothes that were in the bottom, just some common clothes that were taken from them. They take some of those and start to put on some of their clothes.
I would take the rest of them with you and see if you can find any of your friends.
Aye, we can do that. Could you?
I can't believe. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
He looks at all of you and kind of casts an eye towards Callista. When you go down below, if you see any of our friends, could you help set them free?
Of course, that was the plan.
For an elf, you're not so bad.
For a little jerk, you're not so bad either.
Aye.
I think she likes him.
Did you see any ale in there? Looks over to Lachlan and Molfen.
Oh, but I could use some.
No,
Molfen, there was a barrel of ale and wine in there whenever you walked in before.
Molfin's gonna go back in. Is it still intact?
Yes, it is, actually.
Chilled with ice, it's actually...
It's nicely chilled, yes.
Molfin's gonna... Is it somewhere where Molfin would be able to roll it?
Yeah. Molfen could roll it.
Molfin's just gonna start rolling the barrel out.
All right.
Oh my god.
Rolling the barrel.
I did see this before, but everything happened.
Yes, there it is. You see, they stole this from my kind. And he kind of pop the top of the barrel, and you see that he gets some tankards from around the basically what looks like a disaster area in the center of this village. Just dips it in and scoops up a tankard, and they just start to have a little bit of a freedom drink as they.
Yeah.
Even the rock gnomes kind of get involved. They're taking some drinks with two hands like this and just having themselves a little bit of dwarven ale.
Well, we're heroes as usual.
Should we must head down and deal with a more pressing issue.
I'll go see if the others are still in the buildings. And the two dwarves head over to one of the top buildings. Basically where all the earth elementals are crumpled into piles over there. They start heading that way.
Next to all the lovely sculptures.
Yeah, next to all the sculptures. They didn't see the elves because the elves are all inside. So they walk, and you can see that one opens a simple wooden door, and it's like they stop at the doorway. And the one just casts his gaze down, looks at the other dwarf, just shakes his head slowly, side to side. And they both walk out, and they shut the door behind them.
Damn.
Gonna need another beer.
And then he walks to the south, and they disappear out of your sight. Presumably going to another building to check on it.
Shall we move to the elevator then? And
A quick huddle before we do. I want to, see who I'm with me, and I can kind of let them know what we found in the chests in case any of this is look at before we go down.
Okay.
What?
Quick reminder: we had found gold and stuff. We found that large jug with the gins. We found the electrum bracers with the dwarf faces. That token, the potion, and then the scroll case.
I'll cast Detect Magic at will.
Okay. The potion bottle, the token, and the scroll case, and Ashlyn's greatsword that she's practicing swinging around are all giving a brilliant radiance of magic.
Can I tell what type?
You can. I believe the token is transmutation, or it might be conjuration, possibly.
What's the token again?
It's
the maple leaf.
a maple leaf token that has some feathers coming from it.
Okay.
The potion seems to be... What's the charm spell? What's its...
Enchantment?
I believe.
Enchantment?
It's either illusion or enchantment.
It'd be, I think it's enchantment. So this one would be an enchantment. The scroll,
Yeah, enchantment.
Let me double check the scroll here.
God, is it a love potion?
The sword is definitely
What?
evocation.
Mm-hmm.
No, Molfin already knows what the sword is.
Molfen knows what the sword is.
Sword of fire.
Sort of. Molfin gets
Ow!
wrecked.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sword of Molfen almost died. The scroll is... Oh, come on, Michael. Wrong book. I should really use my D&D Beyond.
I've got mine up, but
I would say this is abjuration.
I'll let Muffin know that if he wants to like prioritize or if he wants to wait later to do this.
well, we have the. We should probably take a look at the scroll and the potion. I'm not overly concerned
Here.
with, but
Oh, okay.
take the potion, scroll, and Muffin will take a couple of moments and cast Identify on them as a ritual.
Okay. On all of the magic items?
If I can get away with doing it all in one ritual, sure.
Well, you can only do one item per ritual, so it would take you 40 minutes to do all of them.
Yes and no. We'll
No.
Not in the time budget right now.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of time budget, I don't have any more spells. So if you all get hurt, good luck.
I like those odds.
I was able to
Ryle
recover some of my
Ryle kind of
arcane
chimes in, and
abilities.
Ryle chimes in. Perhaps we can take a rest.
Do you think we have time, Ryle? Like, aren't we hastening to stop this?
Perhaps if we head down.
We are, but do you really want to take our chances without our healer? Pointing.
I
over
would
to
need a
Diane.
full 8 hours.
Perhaps if we head down and can find ourselves a corner out of the way. Again, I can cast the small hut and make it match the coloration of the walls and floor.
Interesting.
What if we encounter problems along the way, though?
We need to find
There
a
are
way to
troubles.
hide ourselves well. But let me do this. Let me take a few moments. Lachlan, let me see that scroll case. And I'm going to take a couple minutes and cast Identify on the scroll.
Okay. So you take about 10 minutes to cast Identify. And you discover that this is a scroll of protection.
Protection. That sounds a little bit white magic for
That's a little too clean for Molfin.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Summon greater devil.
I think the way protection works is you get to pick like an enemy type. Is that the way this one works?
Giants.
Okay, so Scroll of Protection works against a specific type of creature
Yeah.
chosen by the DM or randomly determined by rolling on the following table.
Okay. Okay. What are the creatures again?
Aberrations, beasts, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, plants, and undead.
Okay. Yeah, so basically that scroll of protection does that. And it forms a 10-foot high cylinder around you. And none of that creature type can get into it.
Wow, that's really cool.
So what type is it, Mr. DM?
Go ahead and roll a D100. Let's roll for it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, why not?
Okay.
It is fiends. Fitting.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wolfen is going to walk over to Callista and say, "Here you go, Callista. I feel this is of more use for you than it is for me. This is a scroll of protection. It will protect you against fiends."
Against the Molfins.
Okay.
Lachlan, as you're like listening to this happen, the dwarf comes up to you and he puts a hand on your shoulder. Hey, I just wanted to thank you again. We're going to get out of here.
Good luck on the journey. I want to take, you know what? From what we looted, I'm going to give him 10 gold.
Alright.
Oh.
Thank you, laddie. will definitely help in the travel. Like I said, be careful, and if you can, please help the others. It seems that, Rordif and I, we took a look around the village, and it seems like all the other slaves have been slain. The Yak folk brutally murdered each one.
Oh, Yak folk got, what was coming to them for that, so.
Yeah, they deserved every minute of it. Thank you again. Thank you all. And he looks around to all of you, and they all kind of give you a little bit of a nod. The rock gnome woman seems to be a little distressed, but they all have weapons and better clothing now, and start making their way towards the main doors that have been ripped open by Molfin.
Shall we go figure out something to do with this elevator?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds
I
like
personally
it.
don't like the idea of spending 8 hours without line of sight on where they're supposed to be going.
Well, I can come in and out of the dome, right?
Yes, anyone can, except
Oh,
for
I
me,
can-
the minute I leave.
So I can spend some time and watch and come back.
And once we get down there, well, actually, how long will it take us to get down there, Callista? How long did it take you?
16 floors, right?
16
So-
floors.
It won't take us an hour, will it?
To walk?
Via
or-
elevator?
Yes.
Let me find out exactly how long it will take you. I don't think it's going to take you that long. There is there's a thing in here that says how long it, can't seem to find it now.
Because it stops at each floor for like a minute or two.
Yeah. Okay, and you would know this, Callista. There's a delay of 30 seconds at each floor.
Okay.
And it takes a total of 15 minutes for it to get from the top level to the bottom level,
Okay.
and then vice versa back up. So a full rotation of the elevator from top down and back up is 30 minutes.
So,
Okay.
let us all sit around for a moment, as we should not run into difficulties communicating any further. And Molfin is going to cast as a ritual telepathic.
Finally!
Nice.
And link
Brain chat room.
all of us, all 6 of us, including Riled.
Okay. So you guys are all telepathically connected. Once again, after another 10 minutes of Molfin reciting his magic incantations to link all of your minds.
So are we going down now?
Yes, let us. Callista, if you will lead us to the elevator.
I will lead them to the elevator.
Okay, as you lead them
feel...
up here, there's 2 massive, giant iron doors that are closed that lead to where you got to the elevator. They stand about
Really, I have to open them again.
20 feet high.
Oh no. That's what started this whole problem, Gramps. Led to the massacre of a village.
No, the cleric birthing a demon did that.
Oh, okay.
That's what she gets.
I'm
for-
just,
Not my intention.
She had
I'm just gonna start climbing the gate.
You're gonna try to climb it?
Oh yeah, with my stickiness.
Oh,
I'm just gonna start.
yeah.
See you guys. Good luck.
Yep.
See you on the other side.
Look for a lever, Lachlan.
Oh, good idea.
Can I try to grab around Lachlan's throat?
You're trying to grab around Lachlan's throat?
Yeah, just sort of grab around his throat and get dragged up.
Sure, make an athletics check. Let's see how good you can hold on.
Oh gosh.
He gets a whole whopping like 3 or 4 feet up there, and you slip off.
Wow.
I will follow Callista's advice and look for a lever of some sorts.
Okay.
Ow!
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, because I'm great at those. 7.
7?
It's 7.
You're looking around. You don't see any lever.
No levers up here.
But
Sorry.
let me see something really quickly.
How is the door closed? Is it locked?
Make,
Is there a bar
you can
over?
make an investigation check. Callista, if you'd like to look closer. Is Lachlan
Sure.
it doesn't really look like there's a bar on the back of it.
I
Okay.
can confidently say no levers up here.
I'm not great at investigation either.
You're not really sure. It could be locked, but from what Lachlan gave you information, there's no bar around the back of it or anything. Just these massive
So our
iron
adventure is
doors.
stopped by a door.
Would this be considered a technological device? Does it look like it's just hinges, or does it look like it's something different?
It looks just like
Oh.
hinged.
Oh.
Just massive.
How tall is this setup?
It's 20 feet high.
Oh, I can
So
put
the
down
doors
some
are
rope,
as tall-
guys. We want to do it,
Lachlan's gonna
not
throw a
complicated.
rope
Yeah.
Sure.
down. Lachlan throws a rope. What are you
What can I
secure?
secure
What are you
this
going to
to?
secure
Yeah.
it to? Actually, behind
you
it,
do.
there's 20-foot high portcullis back there. You see those circles that are on the map?
I'm not seeing an awful lot.
Go ahead and move your character to the north over where. Here, I'll move them for you.
Okay.
Where'd you go? There you are. Yeah, you need.
I'm up here.
Yeah, you need to move where Molfin is. I'm gonna pull you. You're
Gotcha.
actually over here, and you can see there's these iron. It's a portcullis. It's also 20 feet
Oh.
high. It's almost like it's a double reinforced door. Like there's these iron doors and then a raised portcullis. It looks like
Interesting.
it goes from underneath like the ground and shoots up.
But I think my rope is only 30 feet. Guys, rope may not work.
Yeah, you think the best way to secure it would be to one of those bars of the portcullis, but you don't have enough
Yeah.
rope
Oh, I had
to do
50
so.
feet of rope.
Oh, you got 50
I thought I
feet?
only had 30. I had 50 feet of hempen rope.
I would say 50 feet could probably just get to where they can
Oh.
reach it.
Maybe I have to jump a little.
They might.
I'm going to try to secure it safely then.
Okay, so you tie it down.
Callista, would you like me to float you up to the top of the door?
By the time it gets untying it, they're all going to be there.
What do you mean?
I can use my staff to levitate you to the top of the door, and perhaps you can lower something down for Ashlyn, Diana, and myself.
I just start levitating because I have the Drow magic.
You just start levitating? Okay. Callista just rises up,
I'm sweating, tying heavy ropes, like...
grabs over the wall, a door, and just hops down onto the other side. Lachlan just watches Callista totally ignore his rope.
Oh!
Molfin's gonna look up. How high above Molfin's head is the rope?
No, only like a foot. Like you could jump up and grab it.
Molfin's gonna start trying to climb the rope.
You watch, Molfin.
Oh, no, he's going to...
You're hearing all this stuff going from the back of the wall. You're hearing, and then all of a sudden you see fingers up at the top. Yeah.
Get out my dagger and start to...
And then another set of fingers. Yeah. And Molfin slowly takes one leg over the top of the door, and then takes the other end of the rope, and then is not really sure how to get down.
Oh, yeah.
Molfin, trusting in his shroud, is just going to arms out,
Falls down.
just belly flop right onto the ground.
Molfin belly
Only
flops
normal people.
onto the ground, taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams into the ground.
Oh, that looked painful.
Diana, how you getting over
Taking Wolfen's lead, I will also try to climb the rope.
Okay. Diana, go ahead and make an athletics check for us.
Oh boy, okay.
Riled just transforms back into his drider self and skitters up the side of the cliff beside it, and then skitters down the cliff on the other side. And
as he comes down, as Wolfen's starting to step back up, you couldn't have offered a ride.
Oh my god.
You didn't ask.
We know where Callista gets it from.
How does one look and say, "Hello, Callista's father, may I ride you?"
It's a little upfront, I must say.
Wow.
Buy him dinner, for God's sake.
Diana, you're able to reach the top. How are you getting down the other side?
If I don't have my own rope.
Raud skitters up to the door and looks towards Molfin, picks Molfin up off the ground. Fine. Holds out his hands and says, I will catch you.
Me?
Yes. You?
Okay.
Oh, no.
I will. Oh, this is like when I would hit people with my limbs in cheerleading. I did. I popped a girl in the face with my elbow once, and another one with my knee.
You hear Raud say, well, please, do not do that to me.
Okay.
Elbows in.
Trust me, Diana, I will catch you.
Elbows in, and I will just kind of roll off and
And you land right in Raud's arms, and he slowly lowers you to the ground onto your feet, and then disguises himself back into that human figure that he was before, with his hat.
Molfin leans a little closer to Callista. What is cheerleading? Is that some sort of elvish thing?
Maybe, but not any I've heard of.
Ashlyn just
Might be a wood
runs
elf thing.
directly up the door and then runs down the other side.
I'm still levitating. I'm just like, what's up, bitches?
She sheaves this massive greatsword and then goes, that was easy. What next?
That.
Oh, another one?
Yep.
Raud's like, oh. Transforms back into a drider and looks at Molfin. Would you like me to carry you?
So when you say it's a portcullis, isn't this just like
it's just these
vertical bars?
Massive vertical bars. Yeah.
How
So
far
you're like a
apart are
rope
they?
climb?
How far apart are they? Let me double check.
Can a little one sneak through?
He's gonna cast grease on himself and just.
Truth be told, you might be able to.
I'll just float over them if they're.
Creature, big or strong fire. Although these gates are giant size, their bars are close enough together that even small creatures can't squirm through. So, unfortunately, these are the bars are so close together that you don't even think you'd be able to squeeze through.
I'm just gonna levitate over it.
Diana, you trying to lift them with your athletics? No, I'm just teasing. That's your old athletics check. I know. I looked down and saw your athletics. I was thinking, I was imagining you walking up to the portcullis and just kind of like trying to like overpower it.
By the power of Illuminator. No.
Well, I thank you for the offer, Riled. I shall take care of it myself.
Sees that, and Molfin appears on the other side. Clever. Looks at Diana. Would you like some help?
Yes, please.
Picks up Diana. I presume, Lachlan, you have this.
Got it under control. Recover my rope. Sticky climb.
Ashlyn runs up one of the poles and then runs down the other side of it.
Extraordinary.
And everybody is pulled over. I'm sure, Lachlan, how are you getting across?
I'm going to sticky climb up one of the poles and then just kind of like sticky climb back down.
Perfect. Spider-Man sticky climb.
Yeah.
He's got it set. Those awesome gloves.
Love those gloves.
You guys can see there's a massive elevator here, elevator shaft. And
Wow.
basically you can see what you can see on the map if you, I'll shift ping you to this location. It looks like there's this massive, some type of system that attaches to the water wheel on the other side of this cliff face. And you can hear the chugging of the water wheel on the other side of the wall as there is a little bit of a gap. It looks like big enough that somebody could actually squeeze through there.
Ooh, good to know.
Probably anybody larger than you guys, though, it'd be hard for them to... Like, Riled would probably have a hard time getting through there. He is a spider, though, so it might help.
Yeah.
And Malvin's going to walk over right to the edge and sort of look down. Can I see the lift?
You can't see it quite yet, but you do watch the chains, and the chains are wrapping back up. So the elevator is coming back up.
I'm going to let everyone know that it's on its way up.
And based on the information Callista gave you, within the next 15 minutes or so, even less than that perhaps, the elevator will be here.
So do we have a plan of attack on how to deal with this?
I can make 4 of you invisible.
I can make one of me.
And I can
I can make one of me.
And I can earth glide while you guys are on the elevator.
If you can do 4, if you can do 4, so if you do Ashlyn, Diana, Riled, and myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lachlan takes care of himself,
Mm-hmm.
how long do your enchantments last?
1 hour.
And yours as well, Lachlan?
Yes, that's the case. It's about how long I think I could hold it up.
It's much better than my own, so yes. That seems to be the way to do it. We ride down invisibly. And then once we arrive, we find
I'll wait
ourselves
for
a
you
nice,
at the bottom. Yeah.
we find ourselves a nice little corner, all meet together and set up our little hut.
I will go down first and scout out and see if I can find anything.
And we shall see you in... Well, I say cast your enchantments first, but yes.
Well, I'm
We shall
waiting
see you
till
shortly.
once it gets to the top, I'll cast it, and then I'll go down. Or I'll just as it gets to the top, I'll cast it, turn into Earth Elemental, and go down.
Okay.
So Molfin is going to be sort of laying on the ground, trying to keep his bare minimum of his head over the edge, watching down,
Okay.
just to keep an eye out in case somebody happens to be riding up.
Okay.
I'm next to him like, what do you see? What do you see? Do you see anything?
You guys do start to make out the large steel platform rising up. It just seems to turn the darkness. It looks like this light gray of grating just starts to appear, and then you can start to see the platform rising up to you. There's no one on it.
Okay, we're in the clear.
Unless they're invisible too.
So what are you doing? As the elevator eventually gets near the top and then stops right
I
at the
cast invisibility on all of them.
top. Okay, you're
the
all
floor.
Fine.
everybody's invisible.
And I turn into an Earth Elemental and go down.
Okay, through the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you want to go? Were you going to second floor or first floor?
I wanted to first go to the bottom of the elevator shaft and kind of look around
Okay.
to see if I can find a place where they could like hide with the bubble.
Okay.
Do that first, and then I'll be going to the fire giant that's waiting with the dogs eventually. But that's later.
Okay. I will go ahead and bring you to the bottom where the elevator stops.
Okay.
And I think I still have your token on this map, so
Probably.
if it loads. Come on, map. Where are you?
Yep.
Where did you go, map?
Yep. I see it
You see it? I see nothing but white grid.
right here.
You see the map?
Yeah.
Word.
I'm pinging.
Strange. I don't see the map.
Rude.
This browser freaking out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Do you need to refresh Roll20?
I hope not, because it messes up my webcams.
Crap.
Stinking maps. You know what I can do? Since it's 9:17, we can go ahead and take our break.
Sure.
And I can go ahead and refresh it and hopefully get it running the way we need to get it running. So
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and take our break here, guys, because of technical reasons, as it always happens here in Proficiency Bonus. Once again, my name is Michael, your most merciful, and humble dungeon master.
Question mark?
Love that shirt.
So if you guys will stick around with us, we'll be right back in about 5 to 7 minutes to conclude episode 75 of our adventure tonight. So make sure you stick with us, and we will be right back in just a moment.
Bye.
BRB.
BRB. Reset. I'm going to double check here on Twitch to make sure we are good and that we are streaming back live again for all of you. Thank you for sticking around. Once again, this is episode 75 of Storm King's Thunder, and it looks like that we are back live and cool. We are all good. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Sorry about that. And we are diving back in. As everybody can see, my applications box is open.
I was about to say that.
Terrible Dungeon Master.
That map looks a little weird.
Yeah,
How do I get around that token
looks
thing?
like all these. It looks like these weird apps. Alright, cool.
What kind of a stat block does an app have?
Oh, that's it.
We went down an elevator and landed in an iPhone.
Rule for initiative, iTunes.
Oh no.
Yes, we've gone terribly.
That could be a
south.
good one shot.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change our music to something a little bit more fire giant-y approach. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Let's get this to.
I'm gonna change to something that says there's a fire giant approaching.
Yeah, let's get.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my
Just change
music.
something that says you're all gonna die, you know?
Yeah, here we go. I like this better. Yeah, that big forge sound in there. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, Callista, when you get down to the bottom and you poke your earth elemental head out of the wall, you can see the bottom of the elevator shaft once again. This is that room where, when you look to the north, there were a bunch of goblins that seemed to be cleaning up after the giant's mess. And you can see that they're still in here cleaning and working. It seems like a lot of their work is just very hard to do for a goblin because these massive plates and leftovers and scraps and all kinds of things that they got working. There are braziers in the corners of that room, like illuminating that room above you. Basically, all the light that comes into this room shines from the other rooms. So it's as if there's no light in here, but it's light that's coming from the other rooms.
Okay.
And you can hear that familiar sound of that ball rolling across the floor from the western room. And you can see the chains that hold the massive colossus golem, the Vonadod, in its position.
What are these dashes that are going across? Is that a wall?
That dash line?
Yeah.
That's just the area that the elevator consumes when it lowers down. That's where the edge of the elevator will be. So that's actually how large that elevator platform is.
Oh. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back into the wall and make my way over onto this side.
Okay.
So I can go around this way.
Okay.
I want to see if there's anywhere around here that they could get off to, like, hide.
There are these large pillars. You see where I shift ping you?
Yep.
That's their supports for the chain buckets that are going overhead. They come out of the wall above you, and they move from one side of the room to the other. And it looks like there is a large area back here, but that's also, like, if you look at these massive doors down here at the bottom, that's like right in front of that massive doorway.
All right. Would it be, based off that vantage point, could they have like set up the hut here?
They could try.
All right.
You'd have to. You'd be sneaking past Zalto.
Yeah.
in order to do so. But he seems to have his back facing you.
Uh-huh.
Then you hear that familiar voice. Zalto, you bastard! You should have taken my deal. You should have taken it. Now you'll suffer. Says the one in the cage. Ha! You'll see. They'll come for me, Zalto. They always do.
Alright, I'm gonna go back into the wall and telepathically message them what I see, what they're going to see when they hit the bottom floor with the goblins to the north, and then the right when the elevator comes to the bottom, there's going to be the fire giants, the 2 dogs. You're going to want to go south.
I think you guys can I think you can telepathically respond, right? Can you speak common and earth elemental form?
So we're just hearing.
I don't know if it's just unless Malfin's the one that understands me.
Because I for some reason I remember watching early Critical Role, and Keyleth couldn't communicate with the party when she was turned into an elemental. but I could be wrong.
You might be right. I think Malfin, you're muted at BB. You're still muted.
Still muted.
Why is my mute button not working?
There you go.
Damn you.
There you
How many
go.
layers of mute were you on?
Apparently 3 or 4. Yes, Molfin does speak primordial, so he's, as everyone else is probably grabbing their heads as they're hearing.
It sounds like rock garble as rocks scraping together.
When we get to the bottom, you can expect to see goblins to the north and a fire giant to the left, but don't worry, Callista will lead us.
There's a lot of goblins who do not go anywhere near the north.
Okay. Run west. Avoid the north.
Okay.
And you guys are going to want to be quiet because there are 2 dogs. I'm not sure how perceptive they are, but he seems to be keeping them occupied with a game of catch. There's also a Zentaurum
What?
hostage captive in his maul. I'm not sure what we want to do about that.
What's he look like?
Best not tell Lachlan and Ashlyn yet.
You're talking in a chat room, aren't you? No, that's right. I haven't.
You don't know.
Oh man.
There are pillars that I think we could potentially set up the tiny hut in, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna.
Does it have line of sight on the forge that we're planning on waiting by?
Does it? Where's the forge in relation to where I'm at?
To the north.
So it's like up here?
Yeah, if you travel north, you'll be able to see it.
Alright. I'll travel north just to get an eye on
There
it.
also is more of these. You can see more of the pillars up there.
Mm-hmm.
That are supporting the other side of the bucket chain.
So this is the forge, yeah?
That's the forge, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. I would also tell them that the pillars that I'm thinking you guys could set up by... These are stairs, yeah? Are they going up or down?
Wait, where are you at?
Down here?
Yeah, those are stairs leading up. They go about 50 feet up to a gantry platform that wraps around to the western side of the room.
Okay. And that goes up to where they are playing cards and stuff, right?
They're playing cards were to the north.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This actually leads where you believe... well, it looks like it just kind of wraps around there. From what you could tell by the layouts, possibly to where those slave pens were, but you're not 100% sure.
Okay, well, I'll tell him my guesstimate, and I'll also tell him that the pillars where we would potentially be hiding are in front of the stone doors. So unless these drow just walk you through the front door, in theory we might be okay, but we might be prepared to have a fight here too.
We'll take a look when we get down there.
All right.
And now Molfin in common will then think it to the party and basically fill them in.
Thank you for the bits.
Leaving
Winston
anything out?
Pope. We appreciate it.
Hey, Winston to Pope.
Winston Pope, thank you. All right, so are you just waiting for their arrival, Callista?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
As long as I keep an eye on this main giant with the Zen, yeah,
Gotcha. I'm gonna
and the forge.
pull
So I'm
over,
keeping an eye on.
everybody's tokens onto this map. Which I think I have to do. Lachlan, here you go. Boom. No, for some reason you didn't go over there.
I
yes,
just
you
saw
did.
some.
Yeah, I
think
did.
I just put
Yeah.
2 of you on there. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Nope, you're there. Now Molfin's there.
Hey,
Diana is there.
holy goblins.
And we got Ashlyn there. And I believe that's everybody we needed, right? Is that everybody?
I think so.
All good. Okay. And the elevator comes to a stop at the bottom. And
And Molfin is going to think.
you guys are all invisible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Molfin is going to think off the elevator to the left.
Okay. And you guys are making
Left
your
and
way
down.
to the left, and you guys can see beyond these massive chains holding up this colossus titan of a some kind of golem or machine of some type.
What is that?
A massive fire giant's back turned to you as he is throwing this large iron ball that bounces across the room, and you can see these massive dogs chasing it. One actually opens its mouth and torches the ball, consumes it in fire. And they have eyes that are just glowing orange and fiery red.
Is the front of the forge open?
It is not.
I was already looking at that. Yeah.
It seems to be closed, and there is that familiar
Arcane.
Ild rune carved into the front of the door.
Could we hide in that big statue?
Does it look
Doesn't look
hollow?
like there's any sort of opening or way into the construct.
Make a perception check. Anybody who would like to.
I'm definitely.
Sure.
I'm totally
Yeah.
down on that. Where, Lachlan, I should say, Lachlan, did you actually think that?
Yeah, I thought it out loud to everybody.
Thought it out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a giant.
It's a giant.
Because I'm just looking at that thinking, like, how much is that thing worth?
Lachlan, Callista, you can see that there's chains that lead up to it. It doesn't have any legs yet. It's kind of like the torso is hanging there, but it doesn't appear to be any way for you to crawl up inside of it. Lachlan and Callista, with your perception checks, you both see that one eye is a massive ruby that glimmers with the brazier light from across the room.
I'm sweating.
It looks like this thing
Oh,
could be
Lachlan.
worth a fortune.
Do you think we can get that on the way out, Callista?
That was so good.
That's episode title right
Take
there.
that what you will.
I take that as a no.
Winston in chat says, obviously, grab the ruby. These dogs.
Haven't you guys watched Aladdin?
one,
Like, don't you know?
one of the dogs appears to have the ball in its mouth, and they're both making their way back towards Zolto. Trotting rather confidently. The one dog has his head kind of up confidently high, like, yeah, I won. I got the ball. You know? like dogs do whenever they're playing with one another. The other one's kind of nipping at his heels as he's approaching. What do you guys do?
Molfin is gonna think out to the party. But give me a moment. I have to check with Callista on something.
Gotta find cover.
And then to Callista,
Mm.
Molfin says, "We may have a slight issue here.
What's wrong?
As I am looking around this room,
Mm-hmm.
appears that there are torches burning. Have you been close enough to see if they are arcane in nature?
No, I haven't really looked at them.
If I pass within a certain range of them, the torchlight will go out.
What's the range?
I've never quite measured it. It seems to have been happening rather frequently during the Fight Club.
I will go up to one of the torches and try and discern through the wall if any of these are...
Ah, my book.
While this is going on, I want to kind of like get around the corner and try to get away from the dogs before they can smell me.
As you're doing that,
Uh-oh.
Lachlan, as soon as you think that,
Yeah.
you look and one of those dogs is going
Crap! Crap!
and looking
guys.
in all of your directions.
I think... Guys?
Zalto, you hear Zalto say, "Nothar, what's wrong?" And then you hear out of the mall, "See, I told you, you bastard."
I'm gonna telepathically ask, should we pretend to be ghosts? Dogs bark at ghosts.
Dog's barking ghosts!
You learn something new every day.
Just do a little like, woo.
The dogs are growling both now, and they're starting to slowly walk
Okay,
in your direction.
I am going to...
And Zalto turns around and he starts looking back there. I don't
I'm
see
gonna-
Something going on is good.
I'm gonna go over here and, like, bang the wall and go back into the wall.
Is he going?
Like,
Oh, like Metal Gear Solid, like...
yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna come
Like,
out of the
I
wall.
want to go in, like, bang the wall, come and go into the wall, and like get their attention up north, away from my party.
Okay, so
Dun,
you
dun,
go
dun,
out of
dun,
the
dun.
wall, make a bunch of racket.
Dun 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 dun.
And all of them look in that direction. You guys watch as both dogs just go. And then the dogs start to run that way. You can hear their footsteps.
Act quick!
Zalto looks up that way and just slowly starts to peer back to the hall. And just stands there and takes his arms and he crosses them like this.
I wonder if he can see this.
These chains that we see here, do these run down to the ground or up to the ceiling?
The chains are attached to the ground and they go up to the hanging structure. It's supported by chains at the bottom so it doesn't rotate, and chains at the top so that it hangs.
Molfin's going to think and tell everyone around it to start heading south, down towards the door.
Quietly.
And then, how big is this chain?
Pretty massive.
Perfect. Molfin's going to go into his pocket, pull out a small pouch of dirt, put a little bit of water on it,
Oh.
set it beside the chain,
Oh no.
Okay.
and then start moving south.
Okay.
Oh no.
And set a 60-second
60 seconds.
Instead of the C4. I'm watching the big guy to see if like his eyes are following us as we go south.
Everybody make a stealth check with advantage because you're invisible. Zos, if you could roll, I think you have access to Ashland's character sheet.
Oh yeah,
If
I
you could
do.
roll a stealth check for her as well. Remember, you have advantage, so you can roll with advantage on this. And
Oh
I'm staying far away from Diana.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh no. Okay, Ashlyn, please do better than I did.
Let me open Ryald's character sheet because Ryald has also got to make one.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we had the giant spider dad.
He's
An invisible giant spider
pretty
dad.
good at stealth. Let's see how he does. A 28.
Ashlyn
He is
is
pretty.
pretty stealth.
He is
Ashlyn has a
stealthy.
plus.
Wow.
Yeah, Ashlyn got a 21.
Ashlyn got a 21. Molfen got an
I got an
18.
11.
He is looking in that direction. So let me
11.
open up his character sheet really quick.
With his plus 18 perception bonus.
It's a group check, right? It's a group check. It's an average,
it's a
right?
Group check. It's a group check. Yeah, whatever. I hear you.
Merciful question mark.
I hear you. Merciful question mark. I hear you.
Hey, I gotta try. I
Wow.
gotta just poke.
I'm gonna let you guys see this. I'm just gonna put it on.
Oh no.
Never whisper rolls. Let's see. We'll just put on never whisper. I'll let everybody see it. Why not? YOLO.
Not if you're Molfen. You live forever.
Ooh. So, as he is staring towards this, and you guys are starting to move in and move along this wall, suddenly he jerks his head and he looks like he's almost looking directly at Diana. And can hear some armor like clanking together, but can't see anything. The dogs, they sense something.
Oh no.
And he starts slowly walking towards where he heard the sound of Diana.
I'm booking it.
Looking at it. So all of a sudden those rattling noises get louder. As Diana starts running.
Can I bang on the inside of the wall again?
Yeah, go ahead. So you do so?
Yep.
How far away are you from where the dogs are now? Are you gonna move a little bit more? Because the dogs are almost where that sound came from, and they're just
Yeah. So
sniffing
I'm
the
gonna go
ground and,
over
like, looking all
here
around. Yeah,
on this,
Yeah,
like
they,
bit more down.
walked past you, and then you're gonna do it back here.
Yeah.
So you bang on the walls again, and they both go, and then they start rushing towards where they heard the sound. Let's see if let's see what Zelto does. He does much of the same. He glances up there again, sees that his dogs are looking around and acting suspicious, and then slowly turns his head back to where he heard the sounds. You guys are
I'm
running.
just trying to give them time.
So,
I'm just trying to give them time.
And Molfen, you are putting this thing down next to the chain.
Right at the base of the chain.
Okay.
It's one of my little pre-prepared bags. Has a little bean in it.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're doing.
Don't we all? We've all seen this too many times now.
I think we got to roll to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's a D100.
It's a D100. Go ahead and roll it. Let's see what's gonna
Oh my
happen.
god, watch it be like a huge keep, just like boom!
Oh yeah, I'm worried. I am worried.
Roll good, roll good!
A 68.
Is that good?
If you give me a second, I can tell you.
Oh no.
Is it good?
You got to be kidding me.
Is it good?
Is it
good?
What's a 68?
I don't know. I'm pulling up the bag of beans now.
He's laughing! Look at his face!
No, when the DM...
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna
Michael's
be
like
fun.
being red right now! What did you do?
I love it. I love it.
Oh
Oh,
no.
this is gonna be great.
This is
We're going even further.
this is what I live for. Let me see if I even have a token for this thing.
Oh
I don't know if I do.
Later's light continues.
Oh
to
wait,
fade
I got a
from
handout for it, so that must mean it's in here. It is fantastic.
Oh, no.
Let me see how.
Oh, no.
I think it happens instantaneously, doesn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it's a minute, I think.
Oh, it takes a minute.
Yeah. Plant it
yeah.
in water. Being produced in effect 1 minute later.
1 minute later. Okay. Fan-flippin-tastic. I love this.
Oh no.
This is D&D, folks.
Oh no.
And you don't even know what's about to happen.
I'm dying right now.
I'm dying.
So-
Can we just fast forward the minute?
Slowly, Zalto keeps making his way. He's following these sounds. Now, I'm gonna say you guys are down here now. Like he's not like 100% sure what is going on, but he's just inspecting and just
He's-
watching. So I'm pulling you guys all
Fee fi
down.
fo fum
Even
right now.
Molfin, as Molfin's
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, Molfin's probably moving a little away from Diana, watching as this thing is coming behind.
Okay, perfect.
Trying
Callista,
to
are
distance
you?
himself a little bit.
Okay, are you doing anything in this time? The dogs seem to be back by where they heard the sound and are just kind of circling,
Yeah.
sniffing the floor and looking at the wall.
I'm gonna
and just-
go up in the corner and get their attention up in the corner. Get them farthest away from my family as possible.
Okay.
Oh, family.
Yeah, they immediately like look back to the sound that they hear, and they start charging and running back up. Seem to be just looking for whatever the cause of this sound happens to be. It's at that moment when beneath the chain where Molfin was fiddling around with something, you hear the ground below start to rumble.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden, this large creature bursts out of this hole. And it looks like it has this silver look to it. It almost looks
Oh,
like
no.
a shark that just swam
Oh,
out
you
of the
just
dirt.
got a bled.
It's got this thick armor all over it, it's natural armor, and it looks
my God.
hungry. And Zalto spins around and looks, What? What is that? And it charges at Zalto.
Yes.
And it rushes towards him and immediately attacks.
Can I just say the dice gods were with me on this?
Zalto
Random noises
quickly,
coming
as
from
this
the
thing is
walls.
charging, kind of whips his maul out and starts to get ready. This thing is actually going to make, honestly, it can only make one attack. But it's going to, let me make sure that I'm not whispering these to you guys so you guys can see everything.
This is
For some
ridiculous.
reason, this is all set. Yeah, the dice gods. They are, and it just tries to bite Zalto right in the kneecap. And rolls a
Oh my God.
23 and drives its razor sharp teeth into its armor. You can hear the armor crunch. As massive. You hear him go, oh, oh, as this happens. He takes 18 points of piercing damage
Wow.
as this thing gnaws into his leg. And then you hear just laughing coming out of the mall. Should have taken the deal. Are you guys going
I love how
to?
he's taking credit for this.
I like this guy.
Are you guys going to take part at all in this, or are you just going to sit back and watch?
I think we're just gonna watch.
I'm gonna
Molfin
keep
is
running.
still
Because
looking for...
I'm trying. I think they're trying. I tell Molfin to look for a place to set up the hut and hunker down.
Okay. So Molfin.
Yeah, so Molfin would be heading, telling everyone based on where we are, to go over to the opposite side, away from the doors.
Okay.
Like over here?
Like over here, somewhere in this area,
Okay. Sure.
and looking for somewhere where the ground and the wall is mostly the same color and sort of texture, so that he can sort of set the hut up to try to...
Now, make a perception check for me, Molfin. As you guys are
Okay.
hearing now, Zalto bring them all up and start to smack down on this creature behind you. Molfin, you feel like the best place for your hut, underneath this gantry down here in the bottom corner, there's a bit of a shadow area in this corner, and you can actually see the door through these steps. Actually don't have backings to them, so you can see through the
Okay.
stairs, so you could still have visual on the door. and be in this tucked in this corner.
Then Molfin's going to call everyone to that corner and tell, after telling everyone, tell Callista and Primordial where we are and to get over
Well, I
here, 'cause
understand
they're-
common. I understand what you're saying. It's okay.
Oh, okay. And basically tell them all to get in the corner together because they all have to be in the hut when I cast it.
Okay.
Okay.
And at that point, Zalto makes 2 maul attacks against this creature.
Oh
His
my
first one
gosh.
actually hits the ground beside it. And you can hear the person inside the maul go, "Ouch! Oh!" And then another maul swing, and you hear that same thing. Whoever's inside the maul is getting battered around while he's swinging this thing.
It's gonna die.
So this creature takes 27 points of bludgeoning damage as it gets slammed by the maul.
I am glad that is not us.
And I gotta double check something because I do believe the guy inside the maul takes damage as well. Let me double check.
Hey.
It's like a...
No.
Yes, he does.
Let's hope the cleric doesn't find that out.
Free hand.
Okay. So let's go ahead and roll a little bit. Let's do that. So that's forward. And so 10 points. Yeah, he took a little bit of damage.
Oh no.
Let's see if I can get his character sheet open. I should have had these open already. My bad. Cool. Got his character sheet too ready. All right, Molfin, so you're gonna go get the tiny hut ready?
Yep, and as soon as Callista makes her way over, and everyone's sort of clustered around in that corner. Oh, Callista's already there? Once everyone else is over there, Molfin's going to cast it up and work on scheduling our rest so we can all get some rest and get this thing taken care of.
All right. As you're doing this, you can hear the constant battle going on. Now the dogs, who are both aware of what's going on, they see this also taking place and are going to start to charge towards where their master is. Wow, they can move 50 feet. So, 10.
Like, should we be taking advantage of this? Just clear the place out?
They're gonna charge.
Free the slaves, get the ruby?
And this one gets right up to him. This one will be
We
able to
don't
get
know
about
how many
right
more
here.
there are, Lachlan, and there are.
There's
Quite
more
potentially
upstairs.
Diana doesn't have.
There's ogres and goblins, hobgoblins, and there's definitely more fire giants upstairs as well. So,
Riled is with you over here.
Diana, get over here.
I'm gonna pull Diana back down here.
Thank you.
Put you guys
Thank
in
you. I
this
was
corner.
trying to find you all.
So you guys are getting huddled up. The bullet creature attacks Zalto again and tries to make a bite attack against him once again. And bites into him again as he continues to chomp down on that leg, kind of not letting go of Zalto. And Zalto cries out in pain once again as this creature is just chomping on his leg. And Zalto, I guess, is going to go and hammer down on him again with 2 maul attacks as he continues to slam down on him. Here comes one. That's going to hit. And here comes the second one. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to crit. Ouch.
That's going to be jelly.
So that's 50 points of
That's
damage.
literally
That's
80 points of damage in
yeah.
one shot.
He basically, you hear these 2 slams, boom, boom, and then you don't hear much of a struggle anymore as this bullet however you pronounce it, your choice, has been basically, like you said, turned to jelly.
Good distraction.
Served its purpose. But shall we?
I'll go down.
So Molfin's going to take a couple of moments and cast Tiny Hut right in this corner as everyone is huddled together.
Okay. Your tiny hut takes...
And trying to match the color on the outside of the hut to like the ground and the wall in this shadowy corner.
Perfect. You don't seem to have much of a problem with this this dark corner, this recessed corner. These braziers are actually up above, so they're not actually casting too much light down where you are. So you're in...
How far above?
Above, like imagine they're up above, probably about 10 or 20 feet above where the second floor is. So maybe about 80 feet above you.
Oh, okay.
But you're fine. And it seems like this whole situation has, as you guys are watching, Zalto kind of takes a look back down that hallway, looks around, and then seems to start heading to the north, and his dogs follow. And he disappears after pushing some rather large iron doors to the north.
I'm gonna follow him.
You gonna follow him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave the hut and follow him.
Okay, so you leave the hut and follow. He goes through these two doors. Callista, are you gonna move your token to where he's headed? Okay.
Yep.
And he then turns to the left, opens some other iron doors, and walks into another chamber, another large room. And you can see as you're just poking your... you're still invisible as well, correct?
I'm not invisible,
okay,
no.
so you're able to kind of look out of the wall. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Sure.
All right.
I don't know why it rolled twice, but...
Yeah. You can see as you're peeking out, there's another large room with massive tables. Looks like there's goblins, and it looks like there's ogres inside. These ogres have aprons on, and they have...
Is this like a kitchen?
They have massive rolling pins in their hands, and they are rolling out what looks to be some massive dough, like on one of these tables. And back in the corner, you can see there is a female fire giant in front of a massive cooking furnace that's embedded in the wall. She's got these little smoke creatures like floating around her, and she's wearing this very elegant dress that looks like it's made from a black dragon's hide. And she's pulling out what looks to be a large flat... It looks like what you cook... open oven pizza style trays on. She pulls out one of these massive things and kind of sets it over on the table, and you can see the goblins jump up on the table and start hacking up this food and making it into more different portion sizes. And it looks like Zalto is headed towards this young lady as some of the goblins look fearful at the dogs and then toss some food to them, and the dogs just munch it up. And Zalto approaches the female, and they start speaking in Giant.
Okay.
Do you understand Giant while you're in your...
I don't
mental
think
form?
so. No, I
No.
don't think so.
Okay. So they're just communicating in Giant. It looks almost like he's coming to her and communicating a little bit, and then she gets a little angry towards him and almost starts to get like nagging him. It's like you're witnessing a domestic argument right now.
Okay.
As she seems enraged and he seems to be like has that stance of like whatever.
Wow.
But that's all you can really like from body language. That's all you can really tell.
Okay.
That this place does look like a massive kitchen full of goblins and ogres that are helping to prepare food.
All right. As long as it's not the Drow, I will go back and keep an eye out on the furnace
Okay.
in the tiny hut.
So you guys head back to the tiny. You head back to the tiny hut. Is there anything you guys would be doing or talking about in this situation? The room seems to be empty right now.
Molfin's hunkering down, trying to get a rest in.
Okay.
I will come up to disturb that rest. So, Molfin, you almost killed me.
I'm sorry?
Is that not... I'm sorry to, assume, but, I left, you vanished, and then the next thing I know, everyone is dead, and I'm almost dead because of something that is very powerful magic. I don't want to jump, but...
You left the room, and I went through the ethereal plane,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember down in the room, I must have used the staff to cast Cone of Cold, as all the yak folk that were in the room were frozen solid afterwards.
So you don't remember casting Cone of Cold? You don't remember that?
DM, would Molfin remember this?
No, Molfin would not.
No, everything was happening so fast during the battle. They had just murdered me. I was barely back on my feet.
I want to incite Molfin to see if there's anything that to his knowledge is being left out on.
Okay. Molfin, you would know when you attune to the shroud of the risks. So you would know that there are times where your body, your abilities, your life force is subject. So you would know there are times where it's iffy, it might be you, it might be someone else. But you don't remember when these things happen. They just kind of... It's kind of like a blink out and blink right back in kind of thing. As this entity or soul or thing takes over your body. So, Diana, your insight, you don't think that Molfin's really trying to hide anything from you, per se?
Okay.
You can tell he doesn't remember. Trying to freeze you to death.
Molfin, if you don't remember...
DM, how dare you?
How dare you, Dungeon Master?
How dare you, God?
Merciful,
No,
folks, merciful.
As I cannot remember it. I remember seeing you. I think you were... can't remember if you were unconscious on the ground or... But I remember being up on the roof and siphoning some of my own life force to bring you back, but...
And I'm very grateful for that. I'm just concerned, Molfin, if you're performing magic that you can't remember, that harms your party members as well as your enemies, aren't you worried?
Just couldn't... You weren't in the room.
Is this the thing about out of character? Is this the thing about knowing that Molfin cast the spell, or is it like
from Molfin's point of view, even if he doesn't remember it, seeing the effect of the spell, Molfin's cast Cone of Cold before. He knows what it's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
He cast it into a room.
Yeah.
That you had already left.
That's true. But it hit me anyways. Should it not have?
No, it's just extended past the room.
It just blew out the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
The door
because of the line of sight.
Yeah,
but
the line of sight, and the door is only like a curtain of beads, so this stuff would have came right through it.
Okay, so to Molfin, I was confused by the you weren't in the room thing. I thought that was like you wouldn't have seen this. Like, how do you know?
Molfin technically down into the room. He didn't where his vantage point, he didn't know it was going to hit you.
That's true.
But he did know it was going to hit everybody else in that room.
That's true. Back in character. I don't think that you did it on purpose or anything. It's just that it happened to like go this way. I don't know, out the door or something like that. I'm more concerned that because accidents happen. Things blow through walls and doors that you don't expect. That's just the nature of spellcasting. It's dangerous, and us spellcasters all know that. It's just that you don't remember the spell, and that worries. Like, are you good? Like, are you like
rather
a split personality? Like, I just want to make sure that you're okay, because I just think about you falling to the dark side, and I know that you won't, but I've just got to make sure and check up on you, because sometimes I still get worried. Not like, like, I just get worried.
I do appreciate it, Diana, but I am in full control.
As long as you are sure that you're... Shout out to my cat on the other side of the room. As long as you're positive that you're in full control, then I got nothing else to say. Just watch where you swing that thing, I'll go. I don't know.
Well, just sort of rubs it a little bit, just sort of like...
I don't know. I'll just go.
Are you guys going to try to sleep and get some rest here?
Yes.
That's Molfin's intention.
Okay.
But,
hell yeah.
You can set up some watches.
Yes.
Yes. Molfin is actually going to... how long are the watches? It's 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours for your watches.
Okay, Molfin's going to offer to take either third or fourth watch.
I'll take first watch.
Molfin will take last.
Riled will take first watch with Callista. Ashlyn will do whatever watch that Molfin doesn't choose.
So Molfin will have fourth. So we got Callista first, Molfin fourth.
Ashlyn will do third.
Okay. I'll leave second.
Diana for second. Lachlan's sleeping
God
the whole
damn it,
time.
Lachlan.
Lazy Lachlan.
He never volunteers for watches. All right, Callista, if you would like to go ahead and make a perception check, I will make one for Riled, as you guys are watching, keeping watch. Good, nicely done. Change this music a little bit. Let's try this. Yeah, I like that one better. So, about 2 hours pass. You guys are all relaxed, and you can hear that familiar sound of those bucket chains moving across the room above you, probably by like 80 to 90 feet above your head. You can hear the chug, 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 chug of this massive sound that reverberates through the whole complex. Callista, you actually, when you were causing those distractions, you realized you had to hit the wall super hard to create a sound that was even loud enough. But those dogs, you can tell, they've got a little bit of heightened perception and were able to tell what was going on, even with everything that was happening. About 2 hours, Gerald and Callista, you guys are just watching, just having a little small talk conversation. And from those doors from the north, you hear the rumble of those doors opening. And you watch as it looks like 2 fire giants with 3 ogres come through the door. And they start making their way down across the room. One has a massive sword over his shoulder, just resting it over his shoulder. They have thick, dark plate mail. They're just massive armor that they're wearing. Red hair, red fiery glowing eyes. As they make their way towards the hallway where you guys snuck in. And you can hear them speaking to each other in Giant. Can you understand Giant in your normal form? You can't? So it's just a bunch of...
Could I...
As they
Hang
just
on, I might be able to
communicate
do
back and
something.
forth. It looks like the ogres are all armed as well with great clubs.
I can't. I don't think I can do anything.
And it's about the time that you need to wake up those for second watch.
I would do so.
So you quietly wake up.
They look like Ganon.
I really do.
They kind of do, huh? And they come over here, and it looks like they are spreading out. And they are just inspecting this area. One of them comes up and like kicks what's left of the hide of the bullet, kind of rolls it over and spits down on it. The ogres, one goes north and is just like looking around. One comes up by the forge and is looking around the forge. One of the fire giants kind of starts walking slowly back here. It just looks like they're looking around very intently. And then every once in a while, they'll say something to each other in Giant as they are
Okay.
walking and perusing the room.
Okay. I'll wake up Diana for second watch.
Okay.
Hey, Goral.
And just point them out very quietly and just tell her to stay quiet and just keep a lookout. Wake us if you see any sign of Drow
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
or any sign of that. What's his name?
Zalto.
Zalto.
So,
All right. Diana, do you understand Giant?
I do. I do
Alright.
speak giant.
You can hear them talking, and one of them, it's hard to hear over that constant moving of the bucket chain. You can hear one say, Zolto said he heard something. I don't know. I don't see anything. Keep looking. Do you think it was this thing? And you see him like pointing down to some dead thing on the floor. It could have been. And the ogres, and they're just like, kind of looks like they're nonchalantly looking around. This fire giant and this ogre start making their way slowly down this edge, just looking around, inspecting. He looks up at this colossus and he's like, huh, can't wait till she's finished. It'll be a grand day for all of our fire giant kind.
Okay. Cool. Scary. Good to know.
And they're keeping walking down, Diana. This one and this ogre and this fire giant, they're walking down here.
They're walking. Are they walking towards us?
And they're looking around.
Doing a perimeter.
This other fire giant kind of moves out towards the center of the room. These two ogres, one of them's coming to the top corner. One of them's just kind of like looking around.
I don't think
the
I've gone to
floors.
sleep. I think I'm just staying awake watching until I know for sure what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, they're moving slow. It's not taking them... I mean, they're just... Imagine just walking around, just strolling, like looking around.
I tell Callista that, since she's still awake, that they are talking about scoping it out to see what the noise was.
And as this one kind of comes around the corner down here, Diana, and this one, this ogre is following, you hear a bellowing sound come from the door. And you hear the door start to open. They open inward. All of you are awakened by the rumble of the doors. As they rumble and waken you, the whole vibration shakes you as you awaken.
Oh, no.
I immediately turn into an earth elemental.
Okay. And
no.
it looks as if another fire giant walks through the doors. And in one hand, he's holding what looks to be a massive tuning fork with a handle. And he has something, it looks like a piece of metal over his one shoulder that's wrapped up in what looks to be an old torn burlap bag or sack. And one of the other fire giants looks, Tolok, you've returned. Ah, another piece. Found just south of Tribor. We're getting closer. And he slowly walks up. This fire giant follows him. This ogre comes with him. And they go up towards the massive structure. And he just sets this piece of metal down onto the ground. Oh, please tell me the food is ready. I'm starving. And then you watch as these giants start to walk away, back towards the door, gathering the rest of the crew. And the massive doors slowly begin to go. And come to a close.
Not too bad after the first time.
And these ogres and fire giants all disappear as they head through the northern door. I'm just going to move them up that way just to get them out of your sights. And Diana, the room is empty again. Party, the room is empty again as you were awakened.
Well,
Wolfen just rolls back over.
It's all right. You like to sleep? Excellent.
That's cool.
Diana, go ahead and make a perception check for me for the rest of your watch.
Alrighty. Gotta get back to that screen. As soon as you mentioned like monsters happening, I was like, okay, time to update my spells.
Well, technically, you still wouldn't have had any spells back because you still wouldn't have had all your first. All right, so your watch seemingly comes to an end. You watch the door intently after that happened. It doesn't seem to open again, and Diana comes and wakes up. I believe it was Ashlyn for third watch.
Ashlyn next.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quick roll for her since.
Yes.
Oh, Zos, can you make a perception check for Ashlyn
Yeah.
for her watch? The whole time during her watch, she's like holding on to this massive sword. She's not even sure if she can use it, but she's just holding on to it.
But she wants it.
She wants it. It's hers. She's just clenching it. Her watch
Roll a 15.
goes by seemingly fine. And Molfin, you are awake for the final watch by Ashlyn. She said, "Your turn," and she rolls back over. And actually, you know what? She trances, so technically she'd be able to stay up there with you.
That's true.
Quiet night.
Except for that one part.
Fair enough.
Make a perception check for me, Molfin.
Nice.
It's Molfin, as you're waking, as you're awake and just kind of like looking around, nothing seems to happen. It gets late. You guys probably went to sleep around early afternoonish probably. So I don't think it was nighttime yet whenever you guys kind of bunkered down. So it'll be kind of very early in the morning as you guys come to rise. But you notice that this bucket chain has continued to run the whole time. Like it never stopped. The whole time you guys were sitting here. The door opened once. They came and looked around. But other than that, this room has stayed pretty empty throughout the course of your stay here.
Interesting.
And then your watch passes. You guys all benefit from a long rest.
Whew.
So you guys can go ahead and roll some, or get all your hit dice back that you need, or anything that you guys
Nice.
need to pull back.
Feels good.
Roll up your portents, get your spells back.
Yeah. Do we see that symbol on the furnace? The rune?
Yeah, you all saw
From
it.
here?
Yeah, I would have told you guys.
And is
about
that the same symbol that's on the thing that Callista has? Or?
Yeah, that opal, it's the same symbol.
Oh, interesting.
I'm just going to ignore Molfin II's portents.
Yeah, you can do that for now. Yeah.
Because,
We're still working on that mini campaign.
yeah. Gotta reroll all the recharges for everything.
This is something else.
Okay. Hey!
Nice.
That is helpful. 16 charges back in the Staff of Power.
Wow.
16 additional gives me 19. It's usable again.
All
I had that down to 3 charges.
Shit.
Dang. All right, so folks, the early morning hours are yours. What would you like to do?
Do we just stay hunkered down here? The hut will be dissipating in a matter of moments.
Right. What is Dad thinking in terms of timing? Does he feel like it should be any moment, or?
He looks towards you and he's like, "Yeah. For my calculations, it could be soon. I guess it just depends. If they ran into trouble on the way, that could delay them.
Alright.
It doesn't appear that Zolto has what he's waiting for."
Molfin, want to tiny hut us and just keep us secure here for now?
The choice is yours. We can attempt to wait it out, or... In your journeys, you saw nothing of alternative entrances.
Nope. It's just the mines and this. I found some holding cells for prisoners, but that was about it. There was no other means. And like the door said, they've been looking for centuries and haven't found any secret entrances. And as an Earth Elemental, I pretty much scoured everywhere and couldn't find anything. I could look again if you guys stay here in the hut, and then I go out and look for more.
Given the things earlier, I'm not sure how safe this location will be. If something does happen, we're quite literally backed into a corner.
But if we're in the hut, they can't get us, right?
And
Correct, but we cannot get them either. We're trapped until the hut ends, and then by that point they could have 10 around us. Doesn't give us a way out.
You could throw a fireball. We could,
I'm sorry?
we could throw a fireball at them if they do corner.
For some
My
reason,
dear,
your mic keeps...
your arcane abilities do not exit the hut, I do not believe. So were you to cast a fireball from within the hut at them, you would incinerate us.
Not from within, from like I just stepped on my cat's tail. He's gonna bite me. Sorry, bud. I mean,
like just stick your hand out and do it.
Yeah. I mean, like if the thing dropped, and then one of us like first immediately threw a fireball at them and exploded them. If they were like a range away.
Perhaps
I
if
don't
we
know.
could
Never mind. It was crazy
draw
talk.
a single individual towards us in some way.
Kill them one at a time.
I was more thinking to get information from them, but
Oh, that too.
I have ways of forcing people to.
I have an
Listen.
idea. I've never used it before.
Oh.
Dad, can you disguise yourself to look like your brother?
Of course, my dear. Of course.
Okay. I have an idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner.
This is brilliant.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
horrifying.
What do you have in mind, my dear?
Um,
And why are you smiling like that?
Michael, I'm gonna message you. Tell me if this is possible, because I forgot I had this.
Fantastic.
Can I scry on my uncle, please?
Of course you can.
Ah,
Oh,
course
this
you
is
can.
hacking.
Why not? Why not? Scrying does take some time to cast, I believe.
Yeah, but if we're in a tiny hut, I tell Molfin to tiny hut it so I can scry.
and as I advised Diana, arcane effects cannot.
Okay, then I'll just scry.
You gonna scry?
You scry.
Yeah.
Molfin is going to step forward a little bit and sort of duck behind this corner, keeping watch up towards that northern direction where we saw people coming from.
Okay. Perfect. How long does it take for you to scry?
Good question.
10 minutes.
I've never done this before.
And I believe
Gives me time to
I
get
I
have-
believe you're gonna need to make a or I make a roll. I
Yes.
believe.
Mm.
And
Yes.
If you know what the target looks like, I think you get some benefits.
Yes.
Yeah, it's they get a -2 to their roll.
-2 to their roll. Excellent.
DC is 17.
The DC is 17. I'll roll this one hidden.
Okay.
DC 17. This is wisdom, correct? I believe it's wisdom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a -2.
Yep.
Yeah, it says likeness or picture -2.
So, Callista, you begin to focus. You watch as Raeld, your father, transforms into the likeness of a classy-looking Drow mage with this fancy robe that he's wearing. It is inlaid with what looks to be webbing that looks like it's inlaid with electrum, like it's really fancy.
Great.
He has this, he's wielding this very nice staff that at the top has this spider gripping a diamond at the top. And slicked back, pure white hair that goes down behind his ears and then just disappears down his back, probably halfway down his back. and you focus and you take the time. You start to casting your incantations. You focus on the way it looks. You think about what it must mean to just be a member of this, just the full Zolaran family. And then all of a sudden, just the spell fades out. He rolled a natural 20 on his save. And honestly, that would have been, the only way it wouldn't have worked.
Dang.
It was close. And I don't lie, it was a 20.
I know. Damn, because I had an idea if it worked, I could have cast suggestion on people around him. Okay.
You feel like...
I can do it again tomorrow.
You feel like you could accomplish it. You feel like you could do it.
Okay.
It has given you a newfound confidence in your ability to scry.
Alright. Well, at least we know what he looks like. Okay, well, if he doesn't show up today, I can try again tomorrow.
Okay. So, Molfin's just continuing to watch?
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace at will from my staff then.
Okay. So Pass Without a Trace to everybody in the party, giving everybody a +10 to all stealth checks. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Probably another hour and a half passes. You guys are... Lachlan's getting real antsy.
Yeah.
Ashlyn continues to wield her two-handed massive sword, trying to figure out, how did he get the... Didn't you say it, lit on fire or something, Molfin? Looking over towards you? How did I get it to... As she's fooling around with this thing, all of a sudden you hear the doors open from the north.
Hide against the wall.
And you see Zalto. He's got what looks to be gauze wrappings around his leg that are stained in blood. You also see that his two pets are with him. And
That's probably why she was giving him shit. She was getting mad at him for getting injured.
They're excitedly looking up at him, and there is a bounce in his step. As you guys see that he is holding something in his hands. And that's when you notice the group behind him. Dark elves.
Okay.
A group of them.
Okay.
It looks like two in the center are rather elegantly dressed and wielding staves, while there are what appears to be 8 guards with them, escorting 4 on either side. And Zalto walks through this door. Are you guys able to see up here?
Yep.
Okay.
Molfin can, and the minute he steps out,
yeah.
Molfin is casting greater invisibility on himself.
Okay. Yes.
I'll invis too on myself.
You invis. Let me, I'm gonna put these guys out so you guys can see them. And I'm gonna move them down into their positions really quick. As they are
We're screwed.
coming behind Zalto here. I apologize for taking this long. And these two, this gentleman is walking this way. There's another gentleman here. Seems rather important. And then we got these guys. All making their way down. Making my way downtown. I can't. Sorry about that. Copyright. Don't flag.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Don't flag my YouTube video. And it looks like 4 are flanking on this side and 4 are flanking on the opposite side as they're coming into this room. And you hear Zalto call out. I knew this day would come soon enough. The Dawn Titan is here. And now, soon, the Vonadad will be back. All of dragonkind will suffer.
I'm sorry guys, I'm going to rush
Molfin's running forward at the same time.
and cast Wall of Thorns.
Before they go, I cast Beacon of Hope on everybody in the party.
Nice. So
Wow.
range 30 feet, concentrate up to a minute. So remember, you're concentrating, Diane, on this spell. Choose any number of creatures in range for the duration of the target. Each target has advantage on Wisdom saving throws and death saving throws.
That's a good call.
And regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing. Nicely done, as you guys feel Ilmater's hands on your shoulders. Which is awkward for Molfin.
The power of Christ
What were
compels
you
you.
trying to hide yesterday?
All right. So this is all kind of happening simultaneously. So a dexterity save. This wall of thorns is going to whom?
All of them. It's gonna go. I think it's a
60 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
yeah.
So it's like a 60-foot long line, I believe.
And
So it's gonna
as
go-
Callista's charged up, Molfin is targeting the giant as well with something at the same time.
Can I
Molfin's
like
targeting
make
the
it into a
giant.
circle? Can I like
Um,
make the wall, or is it a one wall?
a circle that has a 20-foot diameter? Yeah, you can make it a 20-foot diameter circle.
Yeah, I want to do that
Okay.
around them.
I don't
Starting
think
at
you're
this-
gonna get all of them. 20-foot diameter
okay.
is from one side to the other. That's not a radius. So 20 foot's actually quite small. It'd either get the dogs and the giant, or perhaps some of the drow at the top.
Okay, then I'll just do like a wall going from there, like going 60 feet across.
Okay, so basically you're gonna kind of block the drow out and hit
Mhm.
the dog and Zalto.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So dexterity saves for the dog and Zalto. So we need a little bit better music here. Let's go back to our Ironslag theme. Yeah, there we go. I like it. So Zalto makes a dexterity saving throw. And I don't think a 12 is going to do it.
Nope.
As the thorns wrap around his legs. The one dog is also going to make a dexterity save. And fails. I'll change this to where you guys can see it. Rolled a 9.
9.
9! Never whisper rolls. There we go. And Molfin, you said something was happening at the same time?
In giant, shrouded from the invisibility, Molfin is going to point at Zalto and scream out,
That's my
"The
alarm.
Drow mean to betray you. It would be in your best interest to turn around and end them all." And cast Gaius on him.
Okay. How much was it? 22 points of damage then? Is that how much they
Yep,
took? Yeah,
22.
Okay. 22 points of damage. All right.
And I turn into an earth elemental because, that seems to be the go-to here.
That's the go-to here in Ironslag. We're gonna turn into Earth Elemental. Awesome. Are they also like grappled with that spell?
Let me double check.
Thorns and a fail save. Creature takes 78 piercing damage, half as much. Creature can move through the wall slowly and painfully.
For every
So they
1
take
foot,
damage
they
if they go through the wall.
Wow.
Quarter speed, yeah.
Quarter speed through the wall.
Quarter speed, and they take damage if they go through the
They
wall.
take damage if they go through it. Nice. Yeah, that's about as far as that wall can get with 60 feet. Okay, so he needs to make a saving throw then.
Yes, it's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Oh boy. A wisdom save. For Zalto. He fails.
Suddenly it seems like a wonderful idea to kill the betraying drow.
So all of a sudden, as Zalto is holding this, what looks to be some a massive flask in his hands. He like looks up. They wish to stop me. And he gets them all ready. And he turns around quickly. And I need everybody to roll and click on your token and roll initiative for me, please.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for specifying. Click on your token because I probably would have forgotten to and been like, "Where's my pen?"
Yeah.
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 Woo, me and you, Lachlan.
Oh dear God, we're all gonna die.
Hey, yeah.
All right, I will roll Raoul's initiative right here as he gets added to.
Yeah, that's how you do that.
Let's add Zalto to the initiative here. Let's click on him first there, Mr. Michael. Let's click on Zalto and add him to the initiative. As the fire giant Duke gets involved in this fiasco. Let's click on one of his doggies.
Oh my word.
And add those to the initiative.
Wow, he's...
And let's click on these wonderful creatures up here and get them involved as we roll initiative for them. And initiative for this guy. That's what we need. Wait, what am I doing? There we go. Gotta click on my token first or I would have forgot too. Okay. We need to put Ashlyn on there too. Can you click on Ashlyn Zoss and put her on the initiative order as well?
Yeah, you right.
Awesome. We'll get all the initiative going and then we'll be good.
Oh, I need to click on her token. I need to go.
As things are definitely going down.
This is all I've been waiting for!
It is going down, folks.
Alright, Ashley, where you at, my girl? Boop.
You got her on there?
Boop.
All right,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah.
11. I'm so
for
sorry,
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn, that my
Let's
bad
get all
initiative
our
rolls.
initiative order set. And the Drow are the first to go.
Ah, lovely.
They see the wall in front of them. And you hear what it sounds like a bunch of weapons being unsheathed. And it seems like you hear, and they start to basically run around the wall. This one goes 30 feet there. This one comes around the wall this way. This one goes here. This one goes up to here. And they are looking, Molfin, you are invisible, correct?
That's correct, yes.
They cannot see you. Callista, are you in the form of your earth elemental and in the ground, or are you like
Yes.
running across? Okay.
No, I'm going underneath. I want to my plan was to go under and
Okay.
up.
They do see Lachlan.
I'm invisible.
Oh, Lachlan's invisible too.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
These guys are gonna move this
Ashlyn
way.
rolled and Diana way in the back.
Yeah,
Well, they're far enough away. They're far back.
We are very far.
Their range attacks. Let's see what they've got.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
No.
We don't need to do all of that.
They're unable to make an attack, so they're going to dash. 10,
Oh.
20, 30, and running up this way. 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. They're kind of running around this pillar as they go into full dash mode. Molfin, you're up.
Alrighty then. So Molfin is going to... Now, do I see Mr. Flame Giant there?
Yeah.
Where did he put that flask he was carrying, and how big of a flask are we talking here?
It's not massive. Like he had it in his hand. Like you could see the top of it. It looks like it's has some kind of metal cap to it.
You say it's like a 2 or 3 foot flask, about gnome sized?
I'd say it's probably even smaller than that.
Oh.
It's in his one hand, and he's getting the maul out. It looks like he's getting ready to stow it. Perhaps in a he's got like pouches around his belt.
Okay. So Molfen is going to use move. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So move, action to dash.
Okay.
25. And actually, and I can't hold my bonus action, can I?
No.
No, you can't. You have to use your action to hold it.
Yeah.
Did you use your bonus action and then hold your action?
No, I don't have cunning action. I only took 1 level of rogue.
Molfen, as you get closer, you see that dog next to you starts going and kind of looks over in your direction.
This pillar beside me.
Yes.
What does it look like? Is there anywhere that Molfen would be able to sort of climb up a little ways onto?
Yeah, it's like wooden.
Are there any
it's like
indents
these
or
large
anything?
wooden boards that are like put across these metal beams that lead up into more of a point, and then it has this metal area that attaches to the chain way above.
Okay, and how high are these like platforms?
Oh my goodness,
They're on like 30 feet up?
They go way up. Like this floor, the ceiling is, I believe the ceiling of this floor is 100 feet. Let me double check.
So is there one within 30 feet off the ground, a Molfen?
What do you mean? Was there one? What do you mean?
So
Like a platform.
Is there a platform within 30 feet up?
I mean, there's like a board you could stand on, but you'd have to be like holding on to another board. It's only, imagine like board attached, board attached, board attached, like kind of like a ladder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfect. So Molfen is going to Misty Step up right about that giant, like right above his shoulder.
Okay.
Because, hey, greater invisibility. I don't pop out when I cast a spell.
The lower level,
Must be
the
nice.
lower level ceiling is 50 feet high. The upper level is 30 feet high. So since this chamber is open to the upper level, there's a total of 80 feet between the floor and the ceiling.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so Molfin's just popping about 20 feet up, so just enough that he's a little above the giant's shoulder.
Okay.
And direct focus watching where that flask goes.
Okay. Sounds great. You can definitely do that. Anything? Is that all of your turn?
That's movement, action, and dash, and bonus. That's everything.
Perfect. Callista's up.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to use my action to dash underneath and just, I guess, keep tremor sense open for when they get close to me, and that's my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. The other drow get to go. And they're watching suspiciously as Zalto spins around and is holding on to this massive maul that he's getting out. They start to just stutter step back a little bit. And one of them both of them seem to vanish. as some incantations were said.
Not good.
Cool.
And that brings us to Ashlyn.
All right, so Ashlyn is pretty far away. So
She is,
Ashlyn
yeah.
is just going to use her. She's going to use her dash action.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was she can move like 120 feet total. So I just moved 70, and I will move another. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't see all of it like on my screen. So.
Yeah, it's a massive map. It is.
What's 70 plus
Monk's
40?
Man, the
I'm
human
not good
treadmill.
at math.
Yeah, how much she can move? Like what? Like 120 feet a turn or something like that, or something crazy?
If she
Yeah.
dashes, yeah.
Oh gosh, what is math? 75.
50.
25 is 100. 50 is what I have left. That was the
Yeah.
simplest math to ever exist, and I
You get
couldn't
you
remember.
get
Wow.
right to where Molfin is pinging. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
there you go. So Ashlyn is just charging.
That is Ashlyn.
All right,
I
Ryald's
think I might
turn.
leave her hanging out there.
Ryled is going to he's just gonna kind of run up that way too. Use his movement and dash. Head on in that direction. 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. I believe he only has a 30-foot movement. Double check. Yep. And that's really all he can do in his turn is just head on there. The puppies get to go.
Uh-oh.
One of them has to move out of the thorns.
Mm-hmm.
And running towards where they last smelt something. This one has to make, is it another save when they do this?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's dexterity.
Yep.
Okay, so another dexterity saving throw. 17 do it?
Let me double check. Yeah, so it takes half.
Takes half? Okay, so do you roll it again or does it
Pretty
take from the first one?
It's up to you. I can roll it again if you
Go
want.
ahead and roll it again. It's fun to roll dice.
40.
Wow.
DM is wishing he said keep that first
I
roll.
should have said keep it. I should have said keep it. 20 points damage. This dog, like, honestly, as it's coming through, flesh is just sticking to these thorns, and it's ripping itself. You can start to see some of its ribs through its body, but in through its ribs, you can see the fiery glow in between its ribs as it makes its way, and it starts barking up towards where Molfin is. And, Molfin,
boy.
did you say you were 30 feet up?
Like about 25. Just how tall is the giant? Because I want to be right above his shoulder.
The giant's about 21 to 22 feet high.
Yeah, it's like 25. Then probably like 20, 25 feet at the most.
Okay, so all of a sudden you watch as this dog opens up its mouth beneath you and unleashes a breath of fire in your direction. You feel the heat come your way, but it's about 8 feet out of range, and the fire just dissipates before it gets to you.
Woo! Well played.
The other dog rushes and does the same exact thing. It's like crawling up this thing, trying to get to you, and then just unleashes this fiery just blast that comes up and just comes up short. And they're just barking towards you and growling. Molfin. They can't see you, but they smell you. That brings us to Lachlan.
All right, I'm gonna use my 3 dashes to. I believe I can get myself about here,
Okay,
and then that's it.
that's it.
Still invisible.
It's the Duke's turn. He wants to smash the Drow, right?
Yep.
They're betraying
That's-
him.
Yep.
I must stop them. Out from the mall, you hear, "I am so confused." As he
Aren't we all?
looks to the right and sees these drow coming out of this thorn wall, he would move the rest of the way through. So he actually takes quarter movement. Quarter movement, I don't think it's going to get him all the way out of there. Yeah, his speed is 30 feet.
Another deck save, please.
Another dex save for Zalto. Now, when he takes damage, it doesn't affect the Gaia spell, right?
Nope.
Nope.
There's only 3 ways to get that off.
Fails.
So he takes 26 damage.
26 points of damage, and he's gonna use the rest of his movement to get out of the wall. So he's gonna make another one, right?
I guess so,
Every
yeah.
time he moves through, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it rips
another
and
dex
tears.
save.
Oh my goodness. He fails miserably. Oh, another.
I love this.
Another
Thank you for
32.
the staff, Michael. You gave this to me.
Oh, I gave that to you. I'm wrong. I'm so wrong.
I'm so
I
wrong.
hate myself. I'm a terrible, terrible
no,
DM.
I love you.
I'm a terrible
I'm so
DM.
happy.
See, viewers, this is what you do to your players. You spoil them with magic that ruin your game. No. And
Did he
it's,
put that flask away anywhere, or is he still holding it?
he was trying to until the pain of these thorns were ripping through every part of his waist down, and he's just taking this thing and he's like hunched over now. He's like looking down at his wounds. He looks like he's been pretty torn up by these vines. It's like, it must have been the Drow. They put the seal.
You're not wrong.
They-
You're not wrong.
they
It was
mean-
the
They
Drow.
mean to betray me. And he reaches down and he gets out a massive rock that looks to be like glowing with like red stones that stick out of it. And he whips a rock at one of these Drow up here at the top. So here comes this massive rock. As it smashes into one of these. I don't know if that's going to hit. It doesn't. The Drow ducks, and the stone goes right behind and smashes and crumples into a bunch of pieces on the wall behind him. That ends its turn. It's Diana's turn.
Lit. Okay, so I'm gonna dash, and I'm gonna go like right here, right underneath where Ryle did.
Okay.
Do I still have a bonus action?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Okay, because I'm debating. It's a little bit. You know what? I'll just do it. I cast Sanctuary on Ryled because that's Callista's dad, and we do not want anything bad to happen to him.
Okay.
Thanks, Bibby.
Cool.
Thanks, Bibby.
So, Sanctuary, I'm going to put a little mark on there. We'll put, what should we put for Sanctuary? I'm just going to put this little, like, shield-looking thing. Just remind me that he has that, Diana.
Yeah.
If you can remember.
Gotcha.
Because I believe they have to make a wisdom saving throw or attack someone else.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good spell. So, Ilmater is showing his blessing upon the group. And the Drow get to go. The Drow seem to be shocked that the Duke is whipping rocks at them. And are not really sure what to do in this case. They had thought they'd come and built a great relationship and allegiance with one another, and now all of a sudden, the Fire Giant is trying to smash them. These warriors make their way 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. These two are going to sneak around the side. 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. And they can't see Lachlan. They can see Ashlyn. But Ashlyn is still out of their range. These guys come closer to the Duke. And 30. 30. and they're all going to take hand crossbow shots at the Duke.
Yes.
So they start firing these hand crossbows. 4 of them coming his way. It's a 26, that's gonna hit. A critical hit, 27, that's gonna hit.
Wow.
11 deflects off the armor of the Duke. And the last one is a 9, deflects off the armor as well. But the 2 that hit must make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, that poison though.
Poison though.
I love Drow so much. Oh my god.
Constitution saves. That one will succeed. And the second Constitution save will succeed. So the poison doesn't take hold, but there's 2 pretty good shots going in. Take some damage as these bolts shoot in, which you guys can't see too well because there's a massive wall of thorns and briars that seem to be blocking most of your view of what's going on. But Molfin, you got a little bit of a more clear look, and it looks as if your spell is working. And you've turned the Duke against the Drow. Molfin, you're up as you're watching this all unfold.
Okay. So is this thing that I'm on, is it something that I can, like, walk across?
You could, but you're kind of gonna. It's kind of like.
It's like edging across.
Imagine you were on the ledge of a building, and you're like.
Yeah.
So I would make it like difficult terrain. You would have to take twice your move. Like half your movement to move.
Okay, so I get. And I gotta. And I can never remember, what is the rule on a jumping?
Good question. I have it on my DM
Hold on,
screen.
how long
Do
jump?
not jump into the thorns, Molfin. Don't you dare.
I'm over them. My concern is, can I make it? You can move up to your strength score.
Up to your strength score, yeah. With it, that's like a standing jump, right?
Right. So, well, no. If you're moving and then jump, as long as you've moved 10 feet.
Okay, yeah.
You can
as
make
long
a
as you roll
standing
10,
jump.
Even if you're like stuttering along the side. I guess that still counts as the rule.
So here's the question. I'm like 25 feet up. You said this wall of thorns is 20 feet high, right?
It's 20 feet high, yes.
So Molfin is going to move that 10 feet and turn. Can I see the flask in his hand?
Yes, you can.
I'm jumping at the flask.
Fantastic.
Because my strength score is 12, so I can technically clear 12
You
feet.
can clear 12 feet. Let's make a strength save to grab on to the flask.
I don't want to grab it.
Okay.
Well, let me rephrase that a little bit. I don't really want to hang on to it.
Okay.
I want to reach out and grab it, and literally, as my hands around it, I want to cast a spell.
Okay.
Teleporting me and the flask elsewhere.
Is your spell, because technically your jump, I believe, would be your action.
Oh, that wouldn't count as my movement. Hold up, no, let me see if
It might.
I'll say DM's choice.
Where is the jumping rules? Is it in the player's handbook?
I just did a search and roll 20 for jump,
Okay.
and it's under movement jumping.
Movement jumping. That's got to be in the player's handbook.
Yeah.
Actions in combat. Here we go.
If not,
Wait, it might be in the ability check, so you might be good, yeah. Because I think it's a strength-based ability. Let's see, lifting and carrying, jump, 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 jump. First jump. It's on my DM screen, but it's behind me and on my shelf.
that's
You know what? I like what you're doing, so I'm going to let you do it.
Rule
Okay.
of fun.
Rule of fun over the rule in the book. I always go with that. So you're jumping, and you are reaching out,
and
grabbing the flask,
minute my hands touch it,
casting your spell.
And in giant, going, thank you, and casting Thunder Step.
Okay.
Which will take me and an object or creature of my size or smaller 90 feet towards Callista.
I love this. I love every bit of it. So you guys hear this crack of thunder emerge, a familiar crack of thunder, because you guys have heard this before. And this Duke has to make a con save.
You don't know where I am, though, but you just know I'm...
No, I know you
somewhere
were
under
back
the
down south.
Yeah.
Which he succeeds. So he's going to take half of 19.
Half the damage, yep.
So he takes 9 points of
Somewhere
damage,
down there.
9 points of thunder damage. And you have the flask in your hands
Oh my gosh.
as you emerge over near where you believe Callista to be.
Well, at last I saw her.
Yeah.
And the
You're
flask
still invisible, right?
I am invisible, and now the flask is too, because it is in my possession.
Molfin, that flask is warm to the touch.
Good.
Warm.
Yes!
Okay, I believe that ends Molfin's turn.
That's Wolfen's turn. I'm fleeing.
Good turn. Callista, you are up.
Alright. So, I'm just using my full turn to get onto the other side of the wall, right behind him, and that's it.
Okay, full turn to get on that side. Okay.
Yep. Still underground, he has no idea I'm there.
Okay. So, I need to have...
It's a failure in wizarding, I swear.
Man, this is the best combo we've done since the Grease and Fire Muffin. High five!
This has been good. This has been real good. Not yet.
What?
Okay, it's Ashland's turn.
There are mages out there somewhere.
Oh boy, okie dokies.
She's still running, charging into this.
Yeah.
It's, to Ashland's like, oh, does this room ever end?
Yeah.
This is not how I want to spend my turn!
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay. I know that she would way rather be like kicking ass right now. I will move
Give her a
her
minute, she
up
will.
there. Right. I'll move her 55 feet here, and she has a longbow, right?
She does.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she does.
Okay. She has so many weapons.
I know, and she's holding the great sword.
She has so much.
So much. She's just collecting weapons. That's what Ashley's going to be, a weapons dealer.
Stomp on the foot, silver dart, javelin, spear, two-handed spear, one-handed spear, martial arts, rapier. What goodness.
Yeah, she's got a ton of
Holy
stuff.
shit.
She's gonna make a longbow attack at this guy, I guess. This one over here. That one, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And I give her my nat 20 because I doubt I'll be able to get to use it.
Okay, you're expending the nat 20 on that one? Okay,
Yeah.
roll the damage twice for that one.
All right.
So we'll take the, oh, that was a 1 on that second one. So
Yeah.
8
It
plus
was this guy, I
5.
think, over here. Yeah.
Okay.
So there she goes over there. I'm that guy, I think. Yeah. A drow.
So yeah, the arrow sinks into its armor to the left shoulder. Stumbles back a little bit, but seems to be holding its ground. I think Ashlyn can attack again with the longbow, can't she?
Oh yeah,
Does she get
she
two
gets
attacks?
two attacks.
Yeah.
Yep, she does.
All right, girl.
So that was a nat 20, followed up by a 21,
And a
which
21
also
on
hits.
that one.
So 2 arrows now sinking into this Drow warrior's flesh for 8 points of damage.
Yeah.
Will that end Ashlyn's turn?
Yes.
Okay.
If anybody throws an attack at her, I will spend a key point and do. Oh no, wait, that's not a key point. That's her reaction. I will use her reaction to deflect missile.
All right. Nice.
You
That's
could
a good
also
idea.
use a key point to do patient
You
defense.
could do patient defense as well if you'd like to.
I will. I don't want to spend her key points without asking.
Okay, that's good.
Without asking.
No, that's great. I love it. Ryland's turn. He's still a good ways away, but he's going to keep on running. 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. Dashes up this way. Still doesn't seem to be much in range for him. The doggies, not really having a sense of smell to what's going on right now. And are not really sure what to do other than they noticed that Ashlyn is approaching and don't know her.
Did they see the other drow attacking their master?
They did not see that because of the
Oh
wall,
yeah, the thorns.
so they didn't see what was going on. This one is limping its way over this way.
Oh.
Let's see. Will they attack the drow or will they not attack the drow? Let's see. They will attack the drow. So they're going to head towards the drow. And they're going to run this way and they're going to start to attack. One on this one, one on this one. And let's see if they regain anything. They do not, and they do. They're going to both bite. And they have pack tactics, so they have advantage.
Yes.
That one's going to hit. That one's going to crit.
Ooh.
So the first one bites into the flesh of this drow. You can hear a cry out of pain as both of these bites land home. That one, 16 points of damage. And that ends the doggy's turn. It brings us to Lachlan.
Cool. Seeing the dogs occupied, I think I'm going to bolt. I think I can get to about here if I use my 3 dashes.
You can. Mm-hmm.
And just so I know, how tall is that thorn wall ahead of me?
20 feet
20
high.
feet.
20 feet high. Cool. And that's all I can do on my turn.
All right, the Duke rushes up to the drow. It's going to make 2 attacks and try to smash these guys. Here comes one attack down.
Come on, Duke.
Ah, that misses. Slams down on the floor next to him. Makes another attack. That one's gonna do it. 36 points of bludgeoning damage as it slams down. This one still standing, but has the little birdies flying around his head. See, is just barely balancing himself for a moment, regains his composure, and gets ready to get back into the fight. That ends the Duke's turn. It's Diana's turn.
Okay, Diana is going to do, let me like token first. I'm gonna move 30 feet behind this pillar thing over here to kind of like, shield myself a little.
Okay.
And then I would like to see if these guys are within 120 feet of me to throw a guy.
120 feet? I would... where you at? You're right there?
Probably not.
It's gonna be close.
It's
I can't
further.
scroll. It's further?
135 is the closest.
Damn. Okay. Then I will hold my action.
Okay.
And the action I will hold is interrupt cat from scratching door.
Oh yeah. That's an action I have to hold a lot with my cat.
Oh, here he is, the naughty boy. I will hold a guiding bolt for whenever anybody gets within 120 of me. So if they basically just move 15 feet down this way, down
So Diana
this way
holding
Yeah.
behind that pillar, just going
Down this
into
way.
a deep prayer to Omater to give her the ability to be able to help Callista and help Callista's dad, Riled, and to be able to foil the plans of their uncle. Since
Dear Ilmater
it's
in heaven.
11:21 and we've finished our second round, we're going to go ahead and stop right there.
Oof.
And we'll pick up mid-fight.
Oh boy.
Episode 76.
Oh boy.
As I'd like to have Sarah here, Ashlyn.
Yeah.
And by next round, she'll be fully engulfed in this, as she spent most of her time running. Well done, everyone. Well done. And neat. I was so hoping that scry was gonna work.
I know.
I could have just fudged
Walk
it.
him-
I could have just
walk in.
fudged it, but I was like, well, either way, it's gonna work because you would have seen you would have gotten to see the transaction and everything, and it would have been really cool. But still, excellent.
So is he not in the room?
What was that?
Is her uncle not in the room?
I guess we don't know.
You don't know.
That's a good point, because Molfin wasn't watching the Ryald's transformation, so even though I saw the two mages before they vanished.
And you guys, when you saw them come in, they were still a good ways away, and they were behind the fire giant when they walked in.
Right, but Molfin was up on the top of that tower looking over the wall before they vanished.
You were 21 feet.
Like 25, somewhere between 20 and 25.
You would have seen and you would have recognized one of them from what Ryle transformed into. Yes. Mhm.
Well, no, Molfin wouldn't have, because I wasn't paying attention.
You weren't paying attention.
I was watching up, so...
Yep. If Molfin would have been paying attention, he would have noticed. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. We're so glad that you joined us. It seems that the party has confronted this whole transaction process. So this is really cool. I didn't anticipate this happening, so this is great. I love it. Every week, something new. So don't forget that we've got a lot of awesome shows here at Proficiency Bonus throughout the week. So make sure you tune in to all those great shows. I won't sit here and mention them all tonight, or else it'll take us another 30 minutes to get through all of our awesome shows and things that we're doing right now. So make sure you tune in and check out. If you haven't followed, make sure you hit that follow button. Subscribe if you wish to support us that way. And you can catch all of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. So visit there and go ahead and subscribe there as well while you're at it. We need to give out a nat 20 tonight, folks. You give it to Zos's cat.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'd say Molfin for the bullet and getting the fucking flask.
Yeah, the clutch.
That was pretty clutch.
That bullet was pretty funny. I can't believe the dice went with that.
It was. When I saw that, I'm like, that couldn't have worked out any better. I was thinking the only other thing that could have happened that would have shocked me is when the giant pyramid grows out of the ground.
Yes. That's what I was kind of hoping for, to be honest.
Oh, that would have been great. Hey, let's go to the pyramid, see what's in there.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and give Molfin the nat 20 for next week, although I always regret giving him the nat 20 every single time.
Yep.
But then again, that's what happens. And we will pick up with this next time as you guys are battling these Drow, and now you got a fire giant on your side, seems, for 30 days.
Until I kill him next
Until we kill all the Drow, probably. So when you see the opportunity to steal something out of the hand of a fire giant ally, remember, don't forget to add that proficiency bonus, and make sure you have the right spells prepared. So until next time.
Make sure your DM gives you a really awesome staff that gives you a 6th level spell.
Make sure you have an incredibly merciful dungeon master who gives his party wonderful magic items to utilize.
Yeah.
You guys have a great night, and we will see you next time. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Okay, love you, bye.